Light week.
Light week. No news.
Light week.
No news. Didn't play anything interesting.
We will be in and out of here in 2 hours tops.
Absolutely.
No
problem.
No one has been hungrily waiting for takes.
I got to be honest.
No one has been camping in this chat for takes.
You can like look at these takes. You know who else has been hungrily waiting for takes?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking me. Mm-hmm. I've been hungrily waiting for takes.
Yeah.
Like one of the things about the podcast that people don't know about, or rather we've said it 100 times, but everybody forgets, right? Is that when like a super hot, like super big topic comes up, I will message you, or you will message me, hey, this happened, or is right, and that's the whole conversation. Mm-hmm. The whole conversation is, this occurred. Mm-hmm. Okay, bye. Talk to you on Tuesday or Wednesday or Monday or whatever it happens to be.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
Wooly, do you have any super hot takes today?
I have the official Wooly take.
Oh, yes.
If anyone,
direct from the source.
If anyone wants the official Wooly take, I have it for you.
All right, let me hear it.
It is as follows. 2XKO, by fighting game standards, had a pretty healthy life. Riot supported it for 10 years.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Right?
The game had a 10-year life cycle. It was very healthy.
That's what
fighting game standards.
For. That's what people hope for. The Destiny had a 10-year life cycle, and that's over now, and it's like, yeah. Granted,
that's what you want with any other previous release. When you go, yeah, man, we played that shit for a decade. What a banger!
Yeah. What? Wait, hold on.
Okay, no. In this case, we only got to touch it in the last year, but they but they supported it for a decade.
Well, hold on. The people working on it got to play it for a decade.
Well, yes.
So for them, the game had like a crazy life cycle.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what the best you can hope for is a solid banger of a game that lasts a decade.
I gotta tell you, that's good. I did not expect this particular angle of hot take. That's real good.
That's what's happening.
What are you talking about? For people who don't know,
2XKO has announced its end of service, and that's a weird thing too, because I'm not used to fighting games announcing their death, because usually they
only applies because it's live service.
Only because it's live service. Usually a game comes out and like if it goes quiet, then it goes quiet. People keep playing it. Maybe it shows up on Discords or whatever. But it's a product. It's on the shelves and then it's gone. And then sometimes people are still playing it. But it's like, because it's a live service game and because it's free, Riot has to come out and officially announce how much they hate it, and then Yeller it in the back of the head.
Well, they'll let you play with the body,
and it's weird that
for a while.
It's weird to be in a world. It's weird to be in a world where that happens. But I will say that I am glad that like there is the offline launcher, and the idea that like yes, the version that exists is there, kind of like the Rising Thunder Community Edition that continued to exist.
It's more like the Runeterra thing, right? Because you can still play Runeterra multiplayer, just hasn't been updated.
Okay. Yeah,
X amount.
or like the Tepen thing and all that stuff. Like when, as far as the end of live service things go, when the game dries up and there's no one that's allowed to even look at it, that's always fucking horrendous and sucks. So the fact that the game exists in some way, shape, or form is I'm happy that is the case, because it's like still really cool and they did some cool shit, but there's obviously a lot going wrong there.
In continued good news for 2XKO, which is good news for all of us, and also gives a window into what was going on with that game. Everybody got refunds.
Yeah.
Everybody got their shit refunded.
I gotta go check if I actually got mine.
End of service.
I actually got to go check if I actually got mine. But yes, the 2XKO Stimmy has officially arrived, and everyone's getting their Stimmy.
And that's genuinely great. That is a fantastic move for consumers. It's a fantastic move for everybody who played the game. It looks good for Riot.
It also
that
looks
they didn't fuck you over.
It also looks indicative of the fact that they're like, the goodwill is better than cutting our losses, and taking the goodwill is better than keeping what was made at all.
Now, to be fair, the bad news to this is the indicative of what was going on with 2XKO. If they were able to just go, oh yeah, no, refund everybody. Dog, that game made fucking $0. Like that.
For the margins
that
needed.
Amount cannot be significant in any way.
For the margins needed, which we know are basically 10x for a regular fighting game. Because free-to-play numbers mean you got to go wider and wider and wider to get the paying audience, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, this has been a game that, well, obviously we've talked about and played and participated in. A whole bunch has gone on, and it was here for less than a year, and by all indications, it seemed like something that, I guess Riot had the more or less utmost faith in, that they were going to just be like, it's okay, we'll take as long as it needs, let's invest in this, and it'll pay off in the end, because we'll be the ones that make it. And that turned out to not be the case. And it seems like, I guess, I'm not sure how long ago the writing was on the wall and how quickly that word trickled down to people. But I mean,
for what, the shutdown, or the game wasn't doing well?
The idea that this was this thing is kind of cooked in the long run. We're giving it a bit more of a chance to see if anything happens.
That was.
Because
that was when a couple weeks before the first batch of layoffs. The
layoffs was the first point that I think things turned negative.
The numbers were when it came into 1.0, and it had supposedly it had a fairly large pop once it hit 1.0, but then that dropped right the fuck off to a baseline. And what was supposed to happen was, because it was free, that baseline was supposed to be a straight line up.
Yeah, and
that just didn't happen.
And the thing is, and as we talked about at the time, the whenever you have a live service team, the idea that the actual live team is going to be smaller or so is not crazy, but the hope is
that's not insane.
But the hope is that you have other things going on project-wise at the company, or other things on that same project that the people can be moved towards, and thus the resources are being reinvested into its own profitability, But yeah, obviously, this is something that now that we're on this side of it, it's everyone has known how unreasonable the dev time has been on this. And
I think that's every time anyone talks about 2XKO at the very top of the byline, in your periphery of your eyeballs or your brain, it should say 10 years, right? Because that just that's overscores every talking point about everything.
And the crazy part is that I think we talked about how some time ago it was unfair, because the timer in everyone's brain didn't start when the game got announced. It started when Radiant got acquired. Right? So
I think that is actually kind of reasonable. The devs on 2XO have said, we worked on it for 10 years. That timer was accurate. It was actually more accurate than usual.
But everyone looked and saw Rising Thunder shut down, and they saw Radiant acquired by Riot, and they went, yeah, no shit.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when the timer in everyone's brain started, despite announcement.
Because normally the timer starts on announcement.
Mm-hmm. Normally.
Right?
Yeah.
And in this case, the timer would have started 6 years ago instead of 10 years ago. But I think it's fair because they canceled a different game. Right? If this had just been we grabbed people from the FGC and they were making a fighting game in secret, you and I would have fucking known about it.
Definitely would have heard
right?
things, yeah.
But we would have to adjust our expectations accordingly, because it would be a secret.
Now, apparently, the completeness of that original version has been overly grossly exaggerated, and it was not near ready, right? The thing that existed, that was the 1v1 version of the game, was not something that was ready to ship, despite some people saying.
Oh, I can guarantee that, because if it had, we would have seen more than fucking 5 screenshots get out.
But
there'd be a video of a match.
But yeah, I think the weirdness of that sort of start time, and then the expectations and such, and then you have the full restart of the development, that's always a bad omen, But Like
that's a very Riot Games omen.
With
like
other
outside
projects
of the
they've done.
2XKO team, the MMO that they're working on has gone through a full, like, multi-year restart. That's dire for MMOs.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to talk about a fighting game and the costs for a fucking MMO. That's crazy, dude.
And like the crazy thing here is that the end result of like what they made was fun as shit and had some like real like unique, like the duos aspect of this game is some of the craziest, funnest, most unique experience I've had with the genre. Especially after like, oh, your camera's okay. You were futzing.
The top of my head was cut off.
They made it. They did something that like we watched like fucking Cross Tekken and a bunch of other games fail spectacularly at, and they made it work, and it was a lot of fun. But now we get to talk about like the cost of that and how you get to that point.
So I think because we're obviously going to talk about Patrick Miller's post about it, but one of the things that is in the conversation is basically 2XKO was a fun fighting game. I really like playing 2XKO.
Yeah.
I actually disagree with you fairly significantly on its uniqueness and duos. And the duo thing is not to my taste, but that's not really what I'm talking about, right? Because my personal taste isn't I'm not that fucking avatar of good taste on fighting games, right?
Choice words.
I think that if duos, because duos was the only thing about that game that was genuinely unique, right? The rest of that game was like cool shit that was like, this is from Marvel, or this is like
cool
there's a lot of CVS2 in there.
Cool shit tightened up.
Right? Like CVS2 is like an obviously huge inspiration because of all the fuses, right? But if duos was like the pillar of uniqueness that this game stood on, and it was, because duos in this was a really cool idea, I would have expected it to be supported at all in the first 80% of the game's life.
So that now you are correct about that, but now that gets into a branch topic, which is the pillars of what makes it good and how those things release, and the product that comes out basically is not, when it's not good, it doesn't exemplify the strengths in everyone's mind when they see it and go, oh, what's good about this unique thing? Okay, cool. Can I play it locally? No. For the first couple months, not at all. And I'm sitting there going, holy shit, what are we doing? Why can't you do local duos, right? And it seems like, well, for whatever was happening priority wise and so on and so forth, it was something that was either it was like lower priority until people asked for it, or they were putting out bigger fires. One of the two.
So I don't want to sit here and basically don't want to sit here and say that X or Y did a bad job, right?
The speculation
I think that's
game.
Unfair. I think it's speculative. I don't think it's useful. What I can say is from on this side of the curtain, right? The outside side of the curtain, talking about priorities and reasonable parts like fires to put out and focuses on development and all that, I point to the top of the screen again and say 10 years.
Yep.
There should have been no fucking fires to put out.
That's a crazy, unreasonable amount of time. Absolutely.
That is so ridiculous.
In fact, that word, that 10 years will be at the answer of most questions, when it comes to this discussion.
On console, the game has screen tearing, or had screen tearing for a while, right? Fucking
and again, because consoles were not prioritized, it was like, and so to mainly to finish off though the actual story, it's gonna be so it's gonna be basically ending live development and no new content. They're gonna keep the servers up. They're not gonna have ranked, but you can play casually pretty much indefinitely for now.
Those pools are going to be filled with fucking killers.
You're going to be the casual. They're changing it so that you're going to be casually matched with people in your ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's gonna keep an elo thing behind the scenes, I guess, and put you in casual rooms with people relative to your skill level. And then the offline launcher will continue to exist, and they're going to continue doing the patches. They're going to release Lux, they're going to release Samira, and there's going to be one last December patch to close the game out. And then they're going to they're doing the money refunds for everybody. So any money you spent on the game, you're getting back, and then they're going to convert all of the currencies into just the in-game currency.
The credits, the free-to-play
credits, exactly. And they're going to uncap the credit amount so that you can buy whatever costumes and cosmetics you want. And then they're also going to make a $40 bundle for all the cosmetics if you did want to go buy that with the final version of the game. Which is interesting because that's like almost like a price point for a release that you can go.
That's the weirdest fucking part.
It's a price
because
point.
I look at that shit and I go, bro, if they had said it's $40 and all cosmetics free forever, shit. Well, here's the thing:
if ifs were a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
If ifs were an if, but no, for real. I have been seeing a lot of people. I have been reading a lot about 2XKO over the past couple of days from every community source that I can get into. I have seen every permutation of what they should have done.
Oh my god!
Right?
Oh my god!
It shouldn't have been free to play. The roster, they should have released it. My personal pillar to tie myself to is no matter what this game was, it should have come out in 2020 before the pandemic, because then we'd have a real different conversation, right? Because they wouldn't have been competing with anybody, but for netcode. But there's a million, right? The most interesting part of the conversation is that every single one of those takes I have read, my brain goes, yeah, actually, like a lot of the criticism is fairly dead on.
So there's a lot of people with really insane like calls on what they're putting weight on the reasons why it failed, because and the thing is that like
I saw a guy say retreating guard killed this
game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just
like, okay, man, like it's fucking calm down.
And the thing is, it's just like, you like, it's like a lot of yes, a lot of people don't like tag fighters, but a lot of people also love confirmation bias. And you get to
let me tell you, I fucking love confirmation bias. I'm confirmed and I am biased.
So now you get to live in a world where everyone gets to give their reasons for what it was that did it, right? It needed to be a 1v1 fighter, it needed to have 20 characters, and most importantly, it needed to have Glup Shido. That's what killed it,
So
but
I think that's kind of self-fulfilling in a way that's actually real, because the complaints you see the most often are the ones that are most likely to be true, because they're the ones that people complain about the most often.
But this is where it gets hairy now, extra hairy, even more so, is because people are speculating in the dark and they're throwing their daggers out in any direction. And, understandably, folks are upset because they're like, well, fuck, I'm never going to get to play as the characters I wanted to play as. And then this article comes out. And all of
Which article is that?
This is Pat the Flip, the product design and balance team. And
by the way, I'm well aware that Pat goes by Pat. For the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to say Pat the Flip, Mr. Miller, or Patrick Miller.
Sure.
Otherwise, this is going to get
very
fucking confusing.
Very confusing. Now there's a laser focus for everyone's ire, right? And understandably, this is something where, off the top, I'll say that Pat the Flip has done a lot of good for the community and is a good guy and has done a lot of educational writing back in the day with SRK and has done
He's a contributor and part of Core A Gaming as well.
Yep, and has done a lot of good stuff with Exert events and stuff like that. So like there's definitely a history, of solid work behind him.
So that also makes it more or less unsurprising that he would be the type of person to come out and talk at length about the game because he is used to speaking in that context.
And I think what might have spurred it on, too, is because in the days prior to the article coming out, there was another article he wrote that was about this crazy fictional Mr. Beast game that got
I don't
canceled.
know what that was. That was strange.
And I saw people reading that and thinking that was about 2XKO and trying to interpret this being a veiled discussion about how things were going.
Yeah, and then he came out and said, no, that has nothing to do with it. It's a completely different thing.
Exactly, right? And so I think in some ways maybe that misinterpretation led to maybe I should clear the air by writing something about this. And the timing of it and the contents of what he wrote are just the worst possible thing you can drop when everybody's wandering around going, why the fuck did this game die? And that's a rough read.
So I talked pretty at length about this a couple streams in a row.
Okay.
And one of the takeaways that I had is that I like to there's like two things that I like to preface whenever we talk about somebody making a really, really fucking stupid post and everyone gangs up on them. Mm-hmm. One is that fair? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I think it's fair to judge somebody's own published article by its internal contents because they published it.
Honest
that's what they wanted to say.
Yes.
Is it fair to lay the blame of the game's death at Patrick Miller's feet? No. But hold on. I got more.
Yeah,
he's not in management, mm-hmm. right? He did not. And one of the things he says very early on in that article is that he was involved in decisions like everybody within the top part of that game was, but he didn't make big decisions. That was essentially above his pay grade in the management or the Riot scale, right? So Patrick Miller did not go, yeah, we should turn it into a tag game. And then that's why it failed because it's a tag game now. And two, that's not useful either. Because when only one member of the development team comes out and talks about the development, everybody going, it's that guy's fault.
Literally, it's a lightning rod, right, in the middle of the storm where it all just drops onto this one spot. And then it's like the reality of what happened almost like gets eclipsed with the feeling of it because with his own words, he frames it in a way that makes it seem like I steered the ship and made the choice to steer into disaster instead of avoiding it. And now that is really unfortunate, man.
All that being said, Patrick's a talented writer. So I'm going to take everything in that article at face value because the guy knows how to write. Like, straight up. I would not have fucking put that shit out.
I think a lot of people agree.
I would not reveal much of that under duress. The specific tone and revelations contained within are so self-defeating and look so bad at this fucking exact moment in time. If that game was successful enough to continue to live, but be like, an under night, like, a Discord fighter, this would come off as guy's a little pissed off he got laid off, and no shit he is, because who the fuck wouldn't be? Mm-hmm. But this is an interesting read about the development of the game. The specific...
Also, this was he was a part of the team that was gone 6 months ago.
He got laid off in the first batch, right?
Yeah.
The parts that people have, latched onto, I think, it's kind of a thing, I would say, defy context. Because even if they don't reflect on Mr. Miller specifically, there are little bits and pieces that I think project a certain image of the way that game was run that looks bad.
And so the lightning rod.
Sorry, it took forever. Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then we had the naming is hard article, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. which that was like sour grapes as shit.
Lethal tempo all the way.
And then we have this, and it's like we kind of get like this insular click kind of view of
development. That's what I'm saying is, so the lightning rod moment occurs, right? And the most unreasonable folks are going to look at that and say what I just said, which is I was steering the ship and I had the choice to avoid disaster, but I did not. Right,
steered it right into the rocks because I thought it would be cool.
And that's not what happened. But that's what the worst reading of that is. But what you can look at that, and what a lot of people reasonably can interpret is like this is kind of the idea that maybe multiple people on the team also shared, or this was some of the energy that was about in development that led to some of the decisions that made things last 10 years, right?
Now
just to point out that like I think if you look and take it overall and you want to give it the Steelman, the most charitable reading of the article, it's basically him saying that he was hired to make the best game he could, and his personal metric for what the best requires means taking big swings without compromise. That is the most...
That is, I think, it's like an artistic vision, right? Kind of thought process.
That is the most you can steel man that sort of that sentence and frame it in that way. But the 3 points that break down specifically that I think a lot of people come back to is the comparison to working on the game for 10 years as getting a PhD in fighting games.
We have PhD people in our audience, and those people crashed the fuck out when I mentioned that, because that's not how PhDs work.
Yeah,
and you don't get to work with a real salary as a PhD student.
And the analogy could have been a doctorate degree of any kind, whatever. But the point was working on this live project with a lot of stakes as an education for something perhaps beyond this phase that he's looking at, right? So there's that kind of reading of it.
I'll be fair to that. I'll steelman that. When you're on your own website talking about your own blog, about your own experience with the game, it is maybe not reasonable, but understandable to talk about your personal goals.
And I'm going to keep coming back to the personal goals here, because for real, when you work at a company with a lot of people, some people are going to be there because it's like they got pulled in because it's like, hey, you're an expert in this. This may not be what you wanted to do, but is this interesting enough to pull your time? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll contribute. And then they might be sitting next to somebody who's like, it's been my dream to make it here, right?
And then don't forget about third guy. You know what third guy's here for? Money.
Paycheck. I have the skills, I can do it and keep the bills paid.
And before we go any further, because this is going to come into the discussion later, I think people demonize people needing money to a weird degree when talking about the arts. The greatest artists of the Renaissance were weird little guys that lived on the dime of rich weirdos and just got to paint and make sculptures all day because a rich guy was like, I want paintings and sculptures, or the church was paying them, right? You need to eat. You need somewhere to live. You need to make a living.
Yeah, if you're talking about selling out to somebody who has never even sold to begin with,
that's super good,
right? Like, holy shit!
That's an A+ statement.
As an art student, I'm telling you to have some awareness, please. Now the other statement was the one that fucking lightning rod. I'd rather make an interesting failure than a boring success, right?
Bro, I'm like triggered by that. I'm like actively tilted.
The only context where that is a reasonable thing to say is if you are an indie dev working solo on your project and you are going gangbusters on it, and let's say you convince a couple other people to work at your indie studio, they all are like, yeah, we're going for it. We're on some wild shit. We're on this train wherever you want to go with it. That's the only context.
I have a second context that's applicable with. That first one does not apply to 2XKO.
No, it does not.
The second one is you had a creative vision and some asshole in a suit kneecapped your shit at every opportunity, and you released a market-tested, trimmed down pile of slop that you're not particularly proud of, right? But that didn't happen either. the 2XKO team was given a industry astonishing amount of public grace in developing this game.
And
160 people-ish for 10 and a half years is legit absolutely unbelievable in terms of grace.
On the fiscal side, right? And then on terms of just the IP, goodwill, public-facing side, it's a brand with characters that people care a lot about, right? And they tossed out a platform fighter that was garbage with those characters prior to this, right? Which brings us to the third thing that everyone focused on, which is, what's the worst that can happen? We all get fired, right? Go for it, because why not? And again, if you're taking that, like, we got to take big swings, and that's the only reading of it, then sure. But this only can make any sense in an indie, you are responsible for your own self context. The moment you're in a giant production studio and people are next to you and their livelihoods are attached to it, and the success of the project and everything else is going on are there, it basically ends up sounding like, success doesn't matter, because in the long run, if this can kind of end up being a Discord fighter that exists that can be played, then cool, the homies can play that indefinitely, right? And it's not to be that callous about it, but it's just to say that it really sucks if, like, that sort of defiant spirit has casualties next to you that are like, I would like a success, please, you know?
So I don't know Patrick Miller, and I don't feel comfortable laying my emotional accusation at his feet as an individual. However, I am also a content creator in the space and cover fighting games, so I can discuss how that looks, right? From a outside perspective. These combination of statements read like it like hits like, dude, what's the worst that could happen? You get fired and just go back to writing books, organizing events, and running your YouTube channel and your Patreon. And that's not an available option for 155 people on that 160-person team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to...
It reads like somebody insulated from the life-altering scenario of losing your profession.
There are a lot of people on the team who we know because they've been accomplished players in the FGC, and they've been sick, nasty with it. And we have a lot of clips of people on that team being dope as fuck. But there's people on the team whose names we don't know. There's people that have been were just Riot employees.
There's Jenny Artist and Joe Programmer.
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on there, and it's kind of wild to think about that statement in the context of other people on that team, much less to also perhaps ascribe that attitude to other people that may or may not have had that. Because the other thing too is, like, if we're talking about the culture and saying that like multiple people would have thought this way or so, we have no evidence of that, because this is one lightning rod article being written. I keep saying that word. I'm saying it too much.
No, that's fine. It is the singular staff member
and
out there going, yo, I did this, or now I didn't do this. So this is the point that everyone's pointing at.
And so here's the second part about this that's also crazy to me, is that it creates this framing where people go, aha, you chose to make an interesting failure, therefore we did not get our boring success. Right?
I saw a really fantastic breakdown of that, which is it was somebody on our subreddit. I forget their name, but they said, before I read this article, I thought it was basically going to be we needed to go big or go home, and unfortunately, the bet didn't play out. But the actual tone reads like the plan was to go big and then go home.
Sure.
Like
I see that.
Like, it almost reads like, yeah, we know it won't be successful, but fuck it, let's go for it anyway. And it's a weird.
But like I said, this framing, this dichotomy of like it would have been one there or the other, and we chose the other. that's also not real, because as much as we can think, oh, the game that would have been released halfway through, that was the 1v1 Rising Thunder clone with League of Legends characters swapped in, like, there's no guarantee that would have been profitable either, because the gamble,
it's the weirdest thing,
because the gamble of being free to play is already massive. Right? The fact that you're coming out and being free to play is something that is pretty fucking new to fighting games, because only 2 or 3 have tried it beforehand and failed at it. So like that on its own is a big enough thing. There's just no guarantee at all that you would have gotten a boring success out of what we're calling a boring quote-unquote success.
I think it's hard to criticize anybody for ending in a binary state of you should have done this when at least one developer in the game also fell into the binary state of I didn't want to do this, we should have done this. Like the mentality of, well, you know, I didn't want to release a sauceless success. Bro, there are successful games with tons of sauce!
And so this is where we are, right? This is where we are. And this is every conversation that I have, to everyone's chagrin, about fighting game stuff and about everything with Tokon recently and Avatar and all of this. It all ties into this thing where it's like, we can 1000% make a game full of sauce and cool shit that people that are fans of fighting games like, right? And also make a game that appeal to new players, and you can do both. So the whole, like, right now, Maximilian versus Giuna argument happening, it doesn't need to be one or the other, like making games for fighting games for the FGC specifically versus who are you making them for then? It can really just be both, and we have examples of that. Again, Street Fighter 6 is pretty fucking solid and is doing good.
Oh, can you hold on a second? Just 1 second. I think the argument that people who make stand-up super popular fighting games aren't making it for fighting game players super nuts. Like, the guys who make Street Fighter in Japan, I am of the opinion that they fucking love fighting games and love Street Fighter.
Very much so. Matsumoto and crew and Nakayama are the biggest fucking marks for the franchise. And so, you know, when you look at games that are like, you know, when you're talking about like the tag fighter hatred versus it not being, or how do people bounce off when they see it and stuff. And then you go, yeah, but look at Dragon Ball, right? A lot of people, the whole like Dragon Ball defeats the tag fighter dislike discussion. It's like it's
Dragon Ball, man. It's Dragon Ball.
So everyone, there's a lot of people questioning the legitimacy of that because the IP overshadows the whole discussion, right? Okay, all right. So and I saw that happening a bunch, right? It's like, Dragon Ball it overshadows the discussion, so you can't really have it. So you know what another example was that's way less successful than Dragon Ball?
Sure.
Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. That game came out, had an extremely modest budget, was a wacky wild tag fighter, and sold 200,000 copies. And it made enough money off of its 200,000 copies and its reduced pricing to make 5 seasons of DLC.
I think that... So I have been, in the ensuing back and forths, I have been criticized as not being part of the fighting game community, which is because I don't go to events, I don't organize tournaments. I just play and cover fighting games, right? And I think that's somewhat fair, right? I'm not in it. I think Max's point about how fighting games maybe shouldn't be made for FGC specifically is actually wildly too broad. I think that because Max lives in California, he actually can't see the bubble that he's in, which is, I would go so specific as to, I don't think fighting games should be made for the Seattle, New York, or SoCal local scene. I think that specific group of people should not be making it for the final bastions of local play in the continental United States.
See, I'm not coming at it from that angle, though, I guess. I see that. I get the idea there, and I get the energy because of the fact that, like, when you pull out your magnifying glass, all you see is the magnified world, and the world outside the rim ceases to exist. But what I'm coming at it from, and the way I'm seeing this, is that if we got that 5 years ago version of the game, let's pretend the version that got swapped into the Tag Fighter was actually more feature complete. And let's say it had the right number of characters, right? So 10 is obviously infinitely too low. 10 across 10 years, even more so, right?
And 10, let's say, cut in half in emotions by tag.
Even, sure, right? Even if the game ends up being sick and the content therein is pretty sick, doesn't matter because you have that low number, right? And let's pretend as well that you have the 1v1 fighter that you kind of want to see and you launch it, right? If that game came out 5 years ago and launched the way that 2XKO did, which is just the online play and some costumes going, which is basically the same as Street Fighter V's launch, there was no chance you were going to get a boring success there either, because there's nothing there for casual players to latch onto the way they latched onto Street Fighter 6. So, you're coming out...
disagree on one point.
Sure.
If the game... So, in my mind, this is a fake narrative that I am positing for humor, everyone. Mm-hmm. They were making 2XKO and saw the corona vaccine get announced and went, God damn it, there goes our shot. Because people having to stay indoors and no fighting game on the planet having good netcode was the shot from heaven.
The COVID lockdown was a moment that changed everything about online play and fighting games in the genre forever. And the amount of popularity and the amount of that people were willing to sit down and play anything.
If I had been on that fucking team and the lockdown notices came out, I would have been like, ship whatever exists right now.
And the idea, and I remember, don't forget too, that Strive was coming out with shaky netcode and then stopped and went, no. Let's fix it. Let's make it good, right? And they went back and they made sure that shit played well online, and that helped immensely with the game. Now, that on its own, the thing that's the important part about this conversation is that on its own is not the entirety of the story, but the ability...
there's too much. But there's actually too many little pieces.
But the ability to just jump to... The ability of it to cut to animated Wooly sitting there going, work...
Yeah,
right.
I remember that.
The ability for the game to work makes a huge difference to everyone, casual and old head alike.
I saw somebody when I was talking about it basically hit the nail on the head for like the entire version of the timing discussion, because I was talking about the pandemic and netcode and stuff like that. And they basically described that there was an open market with basically no competition in this narrow space, but the game waited until the most popular Street Fighter game of all time would come out to compete with that.
Right. And remember too that like while Street Fighter exists as this like example of continuing success that came out, did well, continued to get bigger and more successful, and is continuing to do great by all expectations, delivering across the board on not just the bare bones TO ready fighting ground, but also World Tour and also the Battle Hub and also all the other features and lots of things for that people are like that they tune into for single player content, for casual content, all that stuff. That's the kind of thing. That's the reason why people are showing up to fucking Mortal Kombat games, even though Mortal Kombat games are going out in the same couple of months. They're having the same end of service that 2XKO is getting.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat games are trash.
Right.
But there's a lot of trash when you pick up that game.
There's a lot of bullshit for people to do, so they jump in and they do it for a little bit, and then, hey, guess what? It outlasts their interest, and then they get a couple of big bloody fatalities and brutalities, and call it a day. You know? And like, that game, Mortal Kombat 1, is in the fucking rear view mirror, but the difference was all the money they took to the bank.
Yeah, and Ed Boon is like counting his fucking stats in the background, lying.
It's like they were alive for almost the same amount of time, it feels like, but one of them was immensely successful and made a lot of money, and then but never had any intention of sticking around, you know, because they're like, hey, we're good at this part, not that part. And if you have the ability to do so, delivering enough things that people that don't even know that they might fall in love with, that the long tail, delivering enough that they're showing up and caring about what they see right away, and then also delivering gameplay that can go the distance is extremely possible. So I hate this framing because it makes it seem like it's got to be one or the other, and it also makes it seem like, you know, even with the perfect IP that everybody cares about, even with the Dragon Ball, even in Dragon Ball's case though, it is Dragon Ball, but it's still released with a bunch of crazy modes and a story mode and a whole feature list and a whole bunch of stuff. It did not come out versus and gallery only.
I think the framing is ridiculous, but to be fair, it's the framing that we have actually been provided. Right? Like, I think framing it that way, like, I'll use Patrick Miller's article as an example. I think judging, like, 2XKO on the sauceless success versus
boring success,
sauceful failure is unfair to Patrick Miller, the writer of the article. So I think it would have served him well to not describe the game in that tone.
Yeah, it's because it's not even the reality of it, you know? It really does make everybody who's going, well, I had my ideas, but if you're working on this, you probably know better than I do, or you spoke to people that do, and you must have all concluded that you avoided taking the road to a boring success that was guaranteed. When it wasn't, you know?
I think that there's because I went back and tried to find as much detail as I could find. And one of the things that Mr. Miller talked about in the past is the part of the development process was bringing in a lot of like super expert pros into the fold for development purposes who didn't necessarily have a lot of experience making games. But what they did know was fighting games. And so they wanted a team of fighting game experts to help make the fighting game. And so what they then instead basically tried to train up people to be competent developers. This is obviously, in hindsight, a massive fucking mistake. This is why when people say, why didn't they just hire fans? Like, because fans of Fallout or Elder Scrolls or Star Wars or whatever don't necessarily know how to make a movie or a game or write a book.
I don't think the mistake is getting people that know fighting games really well to weigh in on how the game should play. I think the mistake is ignoring and deprioritizing everything else we just talked about.
I think those are like half-halfsies the same,
like,
right?
Because, because the idea that like you're making this to be like that super sick game that like is cracked and we fucking love it, in spite of and over all other priorities, is an insanely crazy way to develop a game. And obviously, even though I'm talking about shit that I love, it's never going to stand on that as its own two legs. That's not strong enough of a basis for it. It can't be, right?
There's two games that I think about when I'm looking at the 2XKO failure, and one is Mass Effect Andromeda. And Mass Effect Andromeda, I spoke to some people who worked there, and the problem with that game is that EA was like, we're going to let creatives do their creative vision, and we'll check in like once a year and see how the game's doing. And that was a massive fucking mistake because that team needed somebody to put a foot up their ass and be like, you have to ship this fucking thing one day.
Yep.
And I see that with Riot and 2XKO.
The actual producer role that would step in and kind of push things
like
along.
The product manager or senior producer from Riot or whatever. I think we can all lay a crazy amount of blame at this person's feet for letting them get away with the development practices.
I think that I can only guess, but I have to assume that like when the Cannons, brought the project in, they had a discussion that basically laid out that like, hey, this is a community that's it's a weird, different thing. It's going to take time, et cetera. And whatever the conversation was, it worked enough and it did enough. It created enough grace that they were like, okay, this will be our slow burn. And in the end, it'll pay off because we've got the time, right? It's okay, no rush. And in fact, someone posted a really quick deleted thread that popped up where someone made a meme saying around TWIXCO's like announcement or launch or so, saying, I hope the Riot devs, the Riot CEOs are aware that like fighting games are not like other genres and they need some time. Or right?
That's true.
Right. And they need some time, and then they give them the time to make that work. And basically, like it was like in the meme format, like it was about like there was like a SpongeBob meme, I think, of a character sleeping, and then being worried about that while sleeping. And then the one of the Riot CEOs replied, "Sleep well," basically implying, "Hey, we know. Don't worry about it. We're gonna give this the time and space."
I have reason to believe. I can't confirm it, but I have a fairly significant reason to believe that the gist of that conversation was, wow, you guys need another year? Gonna make $1 billion? Absolutely. And that was like the whole conversation.
So here's
every year.
So here's what sucks. Here's what hurts long term. The takeaways that outside interest companies, people, whoever might look at and go, oh, some more people will look at this and go, man, fuck fighting games, I'm out, right? Some companies, anyone who's like, some people might just look at it and go like, nah, that is just a losing battle. I don't get it. And clearly they couldn't figure it out. So I'm out, right? And then there might be some that are like, well, I'm willing to go into these waters, but clearly the answer is
these people need to be micromanaged.
Well, there's that. And then and the answer is also the game needs to be not sick at all. It needs to be not cracked at all. It needs to be totally like, you know, whatever is the sauceless.
It has to be the most boring thing for babies.
Right. And just create. And it's like, that's not the framing either. But God damn it, we have these two big takeaways that are easy to buy into as opposed to the product design problem. As opposed to the idea that like if you look at the successes and you look at part of what they're offering to somebody who walks in that doesn't know the genre, there's a lot that the person has to do on day one, no matter what their price of entry is.
I think Mr. Miller's article is like damaging to fighting games. He clearly adores them, like a child.
Oh, I mean, again, like the history and the stuff he's written goes back.
But I think he's, what's the word? Like art-brained on this one. Because the takeaway is, well, we shot our shot and a really cool game came out of it, and that's all that matters. That is cold comfort to the next team that wants to pitch a fighting game to anyone, and their boss or whatever goes, well, Invincible Versus and Multiverses and 2XKO fucking crashed and burned like a motherfucker, so no thanks. And like, this is a super high profile failure.
Well, and to use words from the article itself, to be fair to what you're saying there, like, yeah, he does say, like, if you have the chance to make big swings, take the corporate money and fucking do it, then always do it.
Specifically, take big swings with somebody else's money.
Right. And the idea
which is not a good thing to say in the game development space.
And along with the idea of, like, it's not my job to sell it. If you were to ask me, I don't think this would have... I wouldn't have approached the sales that way or so. But that's not my job. My job is to make the best fighting game I can make. Right. So... like, yeah, in the energy of what you're saying about, like, you know, being a anti-corporate, you know, just full art approach, making an impact for history in the long run or so. That's the kind of thing that, like, for me, I respect that point of view and that approach when you are flagshipping and running your own project in this way. It's really, really rough when the end result of, like, that thought process, perhaps, is that anyone who's looking going, well, God damn it, I just like these characters, and I guess we'll never get to see the ones I wanted, or this IP is never going to really look at this genre again. Riot pretty much said they're never going to look at the genre again. They didn't, but they said we're going to move on to the next one.
Yeah, no, and why would they?
Would they? And, yeah, and like... I mean, unless a bunch of people get together and start working on their own fucking Mugen project, which would be pretty sick. Like, I just don't... You know, I can understand the idea that, like, well, we lost a shot at a cool League of Legends fighting game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's gone. That's fucking done so.
With everything that it could have been.
But Wooly, it's still here!
But it is still here, and you do have the thing that you can play that exists, but it's the difference between could have been and what is forever, you know?
So I feel uncomfortable, and I think it's wrong to point at Mr. Miller's article and be like, that's why 2XKO failed, because that's ridiculous. He's only one person on a fairly large team, and he got laid off 6 months ago, right? There's plenty of fucking blame to go around. I think there's a fairly like strong distributed level of blame to go on anybody in management. But what I do feel comfortable with specifically is that Mr. Miller was a senior producer, and he also helped run the live balance team, right? For game balance, right? Everyone with the word producer in their name is not a good producer on this project. The job of a producer is to ship a game, to get it out the door.
Or it was given the pass to ignore pressure.
Right. But that's... And also, if your job is to help ship the game and you going like, I don't care how well it performs, I'm just here to make the best thing. No, you do care how it performs. Because how it performs is related to your colleagues. That matters.
It feels extraordinarily weird to be coming at it from this side, from the production side, as opposed to the dev side.
Yeah.
This is a rare occurrence in the history of this podcast. But,
absolutely.
You know, and no one's going to be like, oh, boo-hoo Riot, and Riot's fucking, you know, whatever.
Oh, who gives a fuck? No, me, it's boo-hoo people who got laid off and future fighting game devs.
And I'm just saying that obvious statement needs to be laid out for anyone dense enough to not...
I've been accused of like being corporate brained.
Anyone dense enough to not understand the obvious points of what we're of that aspect of like, it's not boo-hoo Riot, ridiculous. It's the team and everyone working on that shit that fucking sucks, and the IP itself that people cared about. Those are the two things that legitimately deserve better.
Now, the second thing, I know if we had Mr. Miller here on this podcast, I would very comfortably say that if you were somebody who worked on the balance team, then you should have done different things with 2XKO's balance, because that game had some fucked up shit in it that got to live forever because it was cool, even though it was like absolutely repellent to most human beings. Creating the best projectile that has ever been in a fighting game you want new people to play is fucking crazy. So allowing Yasuo to exist in the state that he ever did is fucking nuts. Letting Marlon Pie turn Teemo into a war crime is insane.
If we're getting into the nitty gritty and the zoom in gripes of playing the actual things, I like Ari and Yasuo are like some batshit things to deal with for such a long time.
You want new people to play this game, and you're going to throw them into the grinder with these people?
But like, I understand the part where Time Winder is like a part of what makes Echo cool in his kit. So it's like coming up with a version of it that doesn't kill his coolness is difficult. I get that there's a struggle there, but when it feels bad, right? That's a part.
Yeah, but this is all Echo got nerfed every patch of the game's entire life. And I still don't think it's enough. And this isn't as somebody who doesn't play. I hate Echo and Yasuo. I hate fighting them. It's like I played through those slams and I saw people pick up these characters or die to these characters who were new. I spoke to new players who got hit by some Time Winder into bullshit and just left. They just put it down and left.
That being said, like this is zooming in quite a bit, you know, in the macro discussion, because
this is the only thing I feel comfortable actually pointing a finger at. Because whoever the fuck was responsible for Time Winder is insane.
Yeah, but because I'm going to say that like other games that we love and hate have some batshit in there, like Mai's fans on version 1 and a bunch. Every game has some crazy shit that just is egregious that gets to rock for way too long. But in this particular instance, though, like we kind of have this this weird lasting effect on things. And this is something where, like, to be perfectly honest, the fact that it can go into the annals of history in the way that every other fighting game that has been released does, which is, yeah, it's around. You can boot it up and play it whenever you feel like it from here on out.
For now.
You know. Yeah, well, again, the offline launcher even, right? But but either way, like it's, I'm happy that is there. I'm happy that is there, as opposed to that not being there at all. There's a lot of just random games you have a disc of, or you have a fucking copy of sitting on your computer, and you can boot that up whenever. But
I feel I have one more point that I want to grab.
Mm-hmm, sure. I was just going to say, like, I could see myself. The last thing I was going to say on that is that, like, because of the uniqueness of the stuff that I think is really sick about this game, I could see myself wanting to come back to play it. You know,
absolutely,
time into the future.
There's one. I unplugged myself. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh God.
Well, while you plug back in.
Oh jeez. Oh, it's bad.
While you plug back in.
I've never done it worse than this.
I do feel like, and I know, like, there's. Oh boy.
Oh God.
There are some times where some games come out.
Oh, I'm fumbling.
Yikes.
Fucking penis is out and everything. Jesus. Okay, hey, what's
There
up?
are some times where some games come out and people are only... Some people, and if you're, for some cases as content creators, are only interested as long as it's zeitgeist current. People are tuning into the content. That's the only reason why you're playing, because the live is bopping and popping. Even whether and like how much you enjoy or don't enjoy playing the game is almost divorced from whether they're going to pay attention.
It's community driven.
Community driven, exactly. And I like games because I like the game itself. You know, so I would say that.
That being said, removing community from like a fighting game discussion is like insane, because fighting games are community.
1,000,000%. And the amount of people that like were just like glad I never even bothered. It's like, fuck, I hate that sentiment, but. You know, it's almost like I didn't get hurt by even trying the relationship out or so type of thing. And I'm like, I if the thing is cool, I'm going to want to experience the cool thing regardless of what's happening around and outside. But it doesn't take the sting off. That's it.
There's one. Oh fuck! No, damn it! I'll move to a different point. There's something at the end of Mr. Miller's article where he describes that now that the game is dead, clout chasers and grifters will move on. And I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like there's a real now that it's a dead game, only the people who really care will play it.
So I think he's there's that part of it, but I think the answer to what he's talking about is from day one there's been a vocal online group of people that have been cheerleading the death of the game. That have been against pretty much its decisions and have hated it and have wanted to watch it burn for a long time, and it cheered and celebrated very, very loudly when it did. And a lot of that ended up becoming and spilling into the actual 2XKO subreddit. You saw a bunch of it.
That makes a little more sense.
So there have been a group of enemies of the game that have been around, and I think he's basically saying they're going to move on to something else because this thing is done, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Twitter.
Nope. My original post is gone. Great. I lost it. I pulled my shit out and I lost it.
Cappuccino, not fans of the game. So, you know. Was it pertaining to you playing or the long term?
No, I don't know. It's completely gone. I'll remember it in an hour and a half.
Okay.
Apropos of nothing.
Okay. Well, just extremely poorly timed on that, and it would have been poorly timed in a bunch of situations, a bunch of circumstances, but in this case, it's poorly timed over the obituary, and that's it on that. You know, it does certainly. I hope whatever the impact is, this data is going to affect a lot of what fighting games in North America and globally are going to experience going forward. What I definitely can imagine we're seeing right now, and what I could see get tripling down on, is how much shit is trying to be Street Fighter 6, right? You know how everything is trying to be Elden Ring right now, based on watching the fucking opening night live.
Well, the whole industry's trend chasing.
Yeah, and it's always been that way. And like you're watching Melty Blood be like, Burnout? Drive Impact? Yes. Everything has Burnout now. You know, like we're all going for it. And look, you can design great games around that stuff, but that's not on its own what's making that game stand out. It's the full package. You know, it's giving people shit to care about no matter what skill level they're at when they boot it up for the first time. Don't think that Burnout and Drive Impact are going to save you. It's not what it's about. Rollback needs to be there, but it's the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no, I do have a.
It's Crushing Force. That's what it is. You meant to talk about Crushing Force, and you forgot that that's the solution to all our problems.
Which is 2XKO also had like a very specific experience that I've never seen before in my life, which is absolutely Riot's fault. Whoever the fuck at Riot was in charge of this, or whoever made the final say. Which was, I remember doing both Say Jam Slams, looking into the chat and seeing the phrase, wait, this came out? I saw comments on the closure notice going, I thought this game was still in alpha.
I thought this shut down when everyone got fired a couple months ago. Yeah,
that is disastrous on a level I have legitimately never seen in my life.
Marketing annihilation. So at the end of the day, right, we can move to this point. This is a healthy point we can talk about here. Lethal tempo, right? The lethal tempo point. That is to say, the game that's name people don't recognize when they look at, and they have no idea that this is actually related to League of Legends. And
that's right.
Okay, I know that business-wise, they would never put it on a Steam launcher. It's got to be on the Riot launcher for business purposes or whatever the case is.
Still, bad idea. That's where 90% of the PC audience is.
But you know what I mean? But it's still just like the amount of people that like would have been interested, if only because they like the League characters and don't give a fuck about the genre, but had no idea anything even happened, is crazy. Marketing fucking botch there, man.
Overwatch was out, and if you logged into Heroes of the Storm or Overwatch, it would be like, hey, dipshit, you want to play Heroes of the Storm or Overwatch? Like the other game.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go earn a Tracer skin in Heroes of the Storm? Which got everybody I knew to try one match of Heroes of the Storm.
And here's the thing is, like, I will straight up say that, like, I think I definitely will say I feel like I had some blinders up on I'd like to talk to Reggie about this and see if he feels it too. Like when we went out to Evo, when we went out to Combo Breaker, and we saw like the setups and how involved they were, and the fact that they had the cabs in the room, and like the presence that 2XKO had at these events, FGC wise, was like phenomenal. As far as FGC marketing goes, they did it was in there, and it was like in the mix, and they were also standing around talking to everybody about the game. People had questions like, hey, you want to come, like, you know, we got to go check out the build and stuff, but like even outside of that context, just like the amount of people just being in the alley where random people walking by curious sat down and got to play. And as far as that community side of things goes, they're super in there. They were everywhere in the FGC, right?
Counterpoint.
And I kind of, not knowing what's happening with, like, you know, other Riot events or things like that,
you saw a taste of it. You have one data point. You have one data point about how badly they botched this. Why did we go into the Say Jam Slam with a bunch of League and TFT creators who went, oh yeah, I've never booted it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right, they didn't know.
Why was there no push on those guys? You know, the guys that appeal to Riot's core audience of League players?
Yeah. What was it? I believe it was like, hey, Bricky, they're so cool. They actually added a duo finder. And he's like, wait, that wasn't there on launch? You know, right? What do you mean? Huh? Right? Yes, yeah. So I had the experience of coming into a tournament and seeing like how they were marketed internally, you know, community wise, and inside they did a fucking phenomenal job with that. But outside of that, like the fact that people did not know is crazy, and whatever role the name plays in that, whatever role the spreading of the word, or whatever it is, the word did not get out to enough people that would have been interested in the IP and the characters, if not the genre, you know?
It's back. The thought came back to me.
Let's go. We fucking dilly-dallied long enough.
I understand being like, this is our vision and this is how we wanted to make it, and this is the interesting failure that we always wanted to make, and like, you know, we're proud of it. I understand a lot of artists who have that like idea of like, I want to make whatever I'm going to make and it's going to be the greatest thing ever, etc. I don't think that jives with the game I got to play during the Alpha Labs versus the version of the game that exists. That Alpha Lab version did not feel like the stepping stone to a cohesive vision of the game, because they were changing big parts of the way that game worked. So, like, right up until the day early access launched.
As somebody who used to work in QA, I can tell you that like the amount of data you get in the first hour of launch is overwhelming compared to all the data that your testers give you prior to that. And like I think what we're seeing alongside the like discussions about what the game needs, what would be good, what would work long term, etc., like the reaction to that, people getting hands on and such, we started seeing it changing even more and more and more. And I think that's indicative of like some of the versions prior to Alpha Lab that we never saw
were in the past.
You know, yeah, I think so.
So, the best example I can think of is there was the Alpha Lab where the combos were like outrageously long. Like they were like, I remember Ari like running out the clock, comboing you into the corner, right? And my feeling, and all these things feed in to this idea of a bunch of absolutely cracked, super expert fighting game players going, man, this is so fucking sick, yo. With like absolutely no consideration for anyone that won't reach like top 64.
Yeah, there's and I'm thinking of the world of, you know, myself, where I was like, yeah, online play could be better, but whatever. It's secondary to my couch local offline experience, which I'm going to have with people, with friends, and going out to places to events to play.
That is way outside the norm.
Yeah. From years ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I just had my point on it, which was, yes, the fact that a lot of the time, because I would say, hopefully, I believe this is a pretty fair post-mortem discussion on the game.
I would like to think so.
I hope so. And I feel like something that I hope comes through here is that I fucking loved it. I really liked this game. I had so much fun with it. And it's crazy to see...
I played it every day for 7 months.
It's crazy to see all these flaws while having this much fun with it. And I'm so used to situations where you're like, but the fucking netcode sucks, right? So, of course, we, you know, or like, it looks like shit. More Infinite, you know, or
fucking Tokon that I want to play now, and the matchmaking's so bad I can't get matches.
Right, you can't get matches. Or even the crazy one, which is the sprites look so good, it was so expensive they can't keep it up. King of Fighters.
I saw
it's unsustainably expensive.
Comic.
You know, like
there's an MS Paint comic on
so
I think the
weird.
fighting game subreddit, which is in a thread called "It All Comes Back to Throw Loops." And it's just two little MS Paint guys, and one goes, I'm Street Fighter 6, and then the second guy is listed every other fighting game, and it's them blowing their head off with a shotgun. And like, that's kind of how it feels. It's like, hey, we released a complete fighting game, and it's good, and the netcode's good, it has single player stuff, and yeah, thumbs up. And everybody else has like this massive like slash across it of like, hey, Tokon, you can't get matches and the performance is terrible, and Mortal Kombat sucks to play.
Do nothing.
And 2XKO has the stuff we've been talking about today.
Don't trip over your own dick, just stand around, win. Yeah,
dude.
It's crazy. Fuck.
Tekken's the best example of like just put the gun in your mouth and pull the trigger, man. Like just it went from like Tekken to Tekken.
Yeah. Fuck me, I had another point, but yeah, it's just so baffling to see these to see this feeling on.
Somebody found it.
Oh, that's it. Like the fact that it's again, I don't know that it's ever been so the fact that it feels this pronounced because of the big Riot statement, and people are able to go and post Riot announcing the game, less than 100,000 people, like whatever, like however many 70,000 people like saw it, and then Riot announcing the closure of the game, millions, right, on their Twitter. It's just wild that is the fuck me. I had a lot of points I was juggling. They announced
there's a lot going on in our heads on this one.
Yeah, they announced its closure, and Nen Impact died more quietly and more dubiously than this did, because
that's fine.
Obviously, no one's playing Nen Impact, right? Obviously, that shit's done and it's cooked and it's fucking insanely busted and bad. But like, it came out, it either got your money or didn't, and now it just exists. They didn't come out and go, "Oh, guys, fuck. Oh man, okay, where'd we go wrong? Whew. Well, this crazy thing we're going through right now. Like, I can't believe this is happening. It just kind of came and went."
Have you ever seen a scenario in which somebody's being a complete fucking stupid asshole, but they actually call their shot from the parking lot, let alone inside the court? There was a meme going around 8 months ago with Echo's head slapped onto Superman's body from Multiverses.
Potential Man.
Called Meet Potential Game.
Potential Man, yeah.
And it is basically the conversation we are having now, but like with a really, really mean tone and calling people washed up and shit.
Okay, so to be fair, what you're describing, that meme, is from the what I was talking about, the anti-squadron. The professional hate squadron that have been all calling this shot out for a long time, cheering for it.
This is what I mean. Like, massive assholes.
Yeah.
However, dead on. Like dead on. Like, specific copes, specific, like, game design problems, the characters are made fun of. Like, it sucks when the biggest asshole is super right about something. And that's why some people don't like me, because I'm very cynical and then I'm super right, but because I'm so smart.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, I thought of the Potential Man meme when this end of service thing was, because I was like, yeah, that was the writing was on the wall for this game. Like, it kept being like, it'll go. Like, I know Thresh and Senna moved the needle on the player base.
The double drop.
But it nudged it, right?
And that's the kind of good marketing move that like makes sense. Like, okay, there was a point at which like what they were doing and adding the climb as well, stuff like that. Like, all of this stuff was really good. Too little, too late. But still, like, these are great additions, and I feel like from that point, because the disingenuous bit with like Max's thumbnail where it's like TWINKLE making all the right decisions,
absolutely.
And it's just like, well, yeah, like there's a point at which they were making excellent decisions after many years of fucked up development happened. And things like the double drop and things like the climb and things like...
There's somebody in this podcast right now saying what Thresh came out.
Yeah, right, sure, exactly. And things like local duos and things like fucking Duo Finder and all that. These are all great things that are fucking needed to be there sooner, but like they're great things that were happening. But like there's clearly a point at which it was like, yes, this is after many years of trouble.
I think that like the wisdom of the crowd is kind of useful here. Because the single biggest complaint I ever saw was the roster.
It's
what we talked about. It's what everybody usually talks about. And I know for a fact that the Thresh Senna double drop was like the only spark of hope for this game's future. But then they would have had to do double drops like every 6 weeks forever.
Yes. But which
is impossible.
But prior to Blitz dropping was when you were in Doomer Town. And I was basically saying, like, if they can pick up the pace on these characters, we can get to a good number, you know?
Yeah.
But,
it turns out the pace had to be, like, 3 times as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, I think...
Like, just unreasonably fast.
Well, again, I think tag game 2v2 or whatever the case is, you want to come in minimum 20, you know? You want to come in minimum 20.
So, I'm in this weird place where I feel like everyone is right about every discussion they're having with this game.
And now you will... it's funny, because I feel like everyone is right and everyone is wrong, and we get to sit here and be simultaneously right and wrong as well, because we can only speculate as much as we can from what we're looking at. You know...
I think Miller's post actually like hurts this discussion fairly, because if there was no development information at all, you could always just go, well, we can only speculate.
We don't know what was going on.
We don't know. Yeah. But now we do know a little, but like the little we know looks like shit. So people are going to take the most negative possible interpretation.
Yeah, and people are going to fucking, like, people on that team are going to get fucking blasted. Some deservingly, some not deservingly, and it's. But sucks,
we don't know.
You know? You'll never. Yeah, maybe never will. I don't know. But it's just a bad fucking vibe and a bad feel.
I'm of the opinion that basically the higher up the chain you go, the more blame lies with you, and I think that's the case for everything ever that's ever existed.
Okay. So
the captain of the ship is responsible for the things that happen to the ship.
So giving the extreme lenience and giving all that grace and not like tightening up the belt earlier on, still a flame, something you can be flamed for, right? Still at fault. I was saying to myself in the days after it got announced, I'm looking forward to the big write-up retrospective in a year from now.
I can't wait, dude.
From inside and out. Right?
You know what I want?
But now I don't know, because...
You know what I want?
I don't know now.
There will be someone
lightning rod
in this project that is not going to come back to game development. They're going to go to software development, or they're going to go to content creation or something. And therefore they will not feel beholden to the fear of bridge burning with game development.
Sure.
That is the person I want to see talk about this game, because the long and short of it is that, like, nobody wants to burn bridges in an industry that you're going to continue to work.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid to do.
To that end, to a lesser degree, Riot no longer cares about maintaining bridges with the FGC, I would imagine.
But I don't know how much I would trust a big picture Riot guy to describe how the game went.
Of course, but I would love to hear the PR phrasing to get the angle they're coming from on it. Still, the fullest picture you can get, you know? But again, I was saying that to myself prior to this article dropping. You know?
Yeah.
Now, what I can say is that in terms of...
Should have seen the look on my face when I was reading it. I was like, oh, man.
you weren't smirking a little bit? You weren't going like, you weren't feeling the salt?
No, nope. I was pulling my collar.
Okay.
I was like, oh.
Because I know that if you just fucking hated this game, the self-righteous smug energy would power you the fuck up. But the fact that you ended up enjoying it, I feel like is like, oh, fuck.
I think my core emotional response to XKO going down and Miller's post is actually primarily in response to people losing their jobs.
It's a fucking bummer, man. It's a fucking bummer.
And I don't like the cavalier attitude to loss of employment in that article.
No.
And unfortunately that reflects on other people in management on that project, because they haven't said anything. right? Now, this is now the lightning rod, as you so accurately described, for all discussion about the game. Because nobody else is talking.
Yeah, it's a very. It's like I'm trying to think of examples in pop culture where, like, I don't know if there's like a Andy Warhol moment of taking the corporate money and upsetting the corp, or something like that. Or I feel like throughout time there must have been someone who did like these examples. Of,
I know what movie you're talking about. There's a feature film that came out in our childhood or young teens that is the pinnacle of I just ran away with the money and made whatever I want. And it's Tom Green's Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah, okay,
Freddy Got Fingered is a movie about how Tom Green stole the studio's money to make the shittiest movie ever on purpose.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Because he thinks it's really funny. And you know what? Within that artistic context, it's like one of the funniest fucking movies ever made. Because the whole movie is about how funny he thinks it is to rip off the studio. And it is.
Okay.
But a feature film that comes out to theaters and then gets sent out, and the only person who lost out was the film, the fucking Warner Brothers, whoever the fuck it was, is different from something supposed to be providing long-term employment for a live service.
I don't think I ever knew about that history on it. I just remember seeing it as a kid, hating it, and moving on.
So, Wooly, the plot of Freddy Got Fingered is that Tom Green wants to make a cartoon, so he goes to Los Angeles to do a pitch, and they give him $1 million, and then he wastes it the whole rest of the movie.
Right. Okay.
When I say the movie is actually about how he wastes it's so literal. It's unbelievable how funny that is, and the movie's god awful. It's like one of the most unwatchable pieces of shit ever. Unless you know the fact that he's giggling behind the camera that he's wasting it.
And again, and I know that there are other examples of the band that took the money to do the commercial and then fucking made fun of it while doing it or burning the whole thing down. But what I can say is that as far as outside of this context, and there you go, we can wrap it up on that with 2XKO, but. When it comes to fighting games and outside of this, I can say that there are signs that nature is healing. Because something nice, there's something fun is that because it's feature incomplete right now and there's no ranked in Avatar, most of the time you're getting first to tens with people when you jump on, which is actually pretty fucking sick. But there are some heated beefs that are popping up on Twitter. Motherfuckers are getting absolutely heated and coming at each other, demanding the hottest money matches we've seen since Clockwork versus Neo. And then also the can opener, Yipes' tournament went off yesterday, and grand finals was Punk versus Bleed. And they ended up in a screaming match with each other afterwards. That's
good. I like
into a money match challenge, and at point, and literally Bleed got up and did the money fan out. He fanned out the money on camera and shit, and it got the thuggery was so real that you're like, yup. Nature is still, in fact, healing, though, right?
I just feel sad because as soon as the 2XKO close of service was announced, my brain went, well, I'm never picking that game up ever again. Because, I know the game will continue to exist, but, a huge proportion of my personal enjoyment for 2XKO was one day they're going to get to all the characters that I want to play.
Yeah. And I don't have that because I don't know the lead characters, so
the hope is gone.
I'm just in it for the game that it is,
Right.
And I think that there's characters that I've liked enough throughout the years. I've talked many times about how playing as Akihiko in P4, P4U, is so much fun that I miss it and I think about it. And I want to come back to that feeling from time to time because no other character feels like it's hitting that exact type of boxer. And I feel like Ilaoi's going to make me kind of miss that. There's going to be a particular feeling for this character I'm going to want to have. But yeah.
I'm now retroactively more mad at certain roster choices because now they did take a character I want
out of the running forever.
Hey, guess what? I really don't like Lux. I am aware she's insanely popular. I don't like her.
I really want...
She's not even out.
Yeah. Yeah. The Rising Thunder Community Edition was the last thing that dropped. In this case, they're going to do the final patch in December with the offline mode. I have to wonder if hackers, the modders, Wistful Hopes, and
I don't know. That game's pretty locked down with a bunch of super kernel level anti-cheat. I know, but I don't. I have to wonder if there is any energy to fucking fine, we'll do it ourselves, because I've seen people being like, hey Riot, give us the code, the keys, save to XKO campaigns, and it's like, that's not gonna fucking happen, right? Yeah,
but the idea of just, no, we're doing it without permission is
the final point
not
that I could
impossible,
ever make about the
but
roster.
I'd be curious.
I think the final point I could ever make about the roster is that Katarina, one of the most popular characters ever, and the first character they ever made, never actually got to be in the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting if they dropped that on the last thing too. Just like, here's the work in progress version of the character. Regardless.
Oh, here's the super fucked
busted,
up unfinished version.
Yeah. But even then, the stupid whatever modded version that I'm describing, it's not like anyone. The point was that people, millions at large that love League of Legends, might be interested in playing a cool game that has the characters.
They're not going to be interested in playing a modded
Discord
fighter.
That's not even remotely in the conversation at all. So it's just it's a curiosity statement, Anyway,
I got to go feed this dog and take a small break.
We did
before we get into the rest of the show.
We did it.
I think we were fair.
I think that was fair.
I did my best. I'm sure you did as well.
Kind of like 10 years' time is fair.
I think it's
a 10-year,
just always
a 10-year life cycle is a game that was a healthy life cycle. You can't say it wasn't.
They spent longer on 2XKO than we did on Best Friends, man. I don't want to I don't want to hear any variation of, but it's hard though.
Maybe the Death Note date was the same. It was always going to be 2026 no matter when it released. And it could have just been 2-3 years into 7.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I got to take a quick break. I'll see you in a sec.
All right. Do you think people are going to start calling things a boring success now?
If we have seen the word functions.
Yeah, functions took off. Day. Functions took off, and functions continues to live on. I think a boring success is now in the lexicon. It could be an interesting success, or we riot.
I would say most games that do well are interesting successes.
I would say so. I like the turn of phrase on that one. What else happened this week? Okay. Well,
nothing.
Nothing
happened.
Beyond that, just continued with the FF14 Samurai stuff. I saw that's back on the schedule, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I can't be there this week.
So the reality is we did 2 back-to-back Dark Souls sessions, and we got way too ahead in that compared to everything else.
Oh, yeah.
Basically. And the next thing I want to start is not quite ready to start just yet. So,
can you type it in so I can see it? I'm curious.
We're doing...
This is such a good scone, dude.
Okay.
I love scone. Oh yeah. That's an endeavor.
So in the meantime, a little bit more samurai going down. I'll be taking a look at a couple missions there. We're good to do main or sides, whatever.
Yeah, go for it. I can catch up. I have flight in those zones, so I can catch up like that.
Okay. UMAD happened this week as well on my channel. I was a little under the weather because of fucking daycare. Just the day, it's catching up. It's becoming a thing. She's bringing it home. So that might continue to happen at a pace that is out of my control.
I saw you cancel some stuff, and then I was like, oh, hey man, are you doing okay, buddy? And you went, daycare got me, and like my whole internal attitude completely switched to like, yeah, fucking welcome. Absolutely no way to defend yourself from germs.
Yep.
None.
Like, I'm in the middle of giving her a kiss, and she's just staring at me going,
You might as well be like licking doorknobs at a mall. Like, there's no way to stop it.
Fuck. So it's happening.
Do you remember last year I got sick like 5 times? There's no way around it.
Yeah, no, I had family. My cousins was telling me, he's like, there's no guarantee just because you get one doesn't mean a few days later you're not going to get another. Like, the timing is also just absolutely batshit. It's never been like this. So I'm prepared. We're prepared. We're bunkering, batting down the hatches. We'll see what happens. But a little more of that happening. I wasn't able to make it out to you, Mad, but like it was running on my stream. So if you got to tune in for some good tournament action, there was Tokon, there was Avatar, there was 2X. There's a bunch of cool stuff that happened, and I saw Wawa took it and ran with it across multiple games. So shout out to them and to the Air Dashers running a pretty much, from what I can tell, like perfect event in the church. Super sick venue. Everything went really well. Confirmed, Alex? Yes, I believe so. This week, gonna be... we also, again, we played a bit of DS2, and I think we talked about Lost Sinner last week as well. So, we're gonna get back around to that the week after. The main thing is the special event on Saturday. This one's a long time coming. I've been trying to figure this out for a minute, and the timing just lines up perfectly.
You're gonna do it?
I'm gonna be playing For Honor, the new character.
Speaking of dead games,
very alive, actually, very alive, and still has new characters dropping because that shit's making money. So no, it has like you're not looking. I wasn't looking. But it has a lot of concurrence, and it's actually...
So let me ask you a question.
Doing its thing.
The last time I played For Honor was around the time they had that tournament that just went fucking straight sideways.
That was nuts. I remember that happened.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. But like,
how is the game now?
So people are playing it. It's very healthy. People going, game killed by its own player base. No, it is not killed at all. It's extremely alive. It's doing really well, and people are enjoying where it's at balance-wise and character-wise because they've been just adding tons of characters to it. Like, there's been seasons and seasons of stuff, so like, whatever faction you want to go with, whatever style you want to go with, you've got fucking... How many? What's the roster right now? For Honor, like... It's apparently been just 38 right now.
You know what?
It's been chugging along.
It's good to play a fighting game with a big roster.
Big roster.
It is. You telling me that it has 38 characters in it? I'm like, man, maybe I'll watch your video and maybe I'll reinstall For Honor.
So we're popping it in. The new character is Arakure, who's like this cool-looking punch girl that's got like batons and a big mohawk, and she's joining kind of the Japanese faction. My style my energy of character, I immediately am like, okay, tell me more. And I've been trying to get this For Honor, get into fighting games going, because it turns out that some friends of mine that are just old FGC friends that I hung out with from the MTLSF crew and the Air Dashers crew are devs on the game. And so we have... I'm going to be grabbing a couple of the homies to come in on the couch, sit down with, that are like actively, programmers and leads on it, and we're going to be fucking getting it from them directly, And
so it was what you're saying, from what I hear to you, and what you're saying almost verbatim, is that Canadian FGC people are better at developing fighting games than American FGC people. That's what you said, right?
I'm saying that For Honor is this weird 4v4 3D weapon combat thing that is just different enough and interesting enough that it's managed to not only survive after that last generation launch or 2 generations ago launch, but it's doing really well years later.
Well, that's what happens when you aim for a boring success, man.
And yeah, Canadian. Damn straight.
Can I say something? This is a really great like final thing. I don't like For Honor as much as 2XKO. For Honor is like objectively way riskier and weirder than 2XKO as a multiplayer game.
By far. Easily.
It is a weird fucking game. It is super risky.
It was also, as far as I know, not free to play, which is enough risk on its own. Like, free to play, I can't emphasize enough how much free to play on its own is a risk, and then there's the game itself.
Yeah, okay, guys, you know how you have the risk of your game being a certain way, and that by itself is a risk by default, and you can go safe or risky? The free-to-play / buy-to-play thing is a separate entire continuum of risks.
Exactly. It is a risky portfolio dipped and fucking deep fried in a risky oil on top of that. So, anyways.
Someone in the chat asks, don't you have to pay for most of the characters in For Honor? Yes, that is how a game makes enough dollars to continue to exist, by convincing you to give them dollars.
There you go. You got it.
So that they can pay employees.
The money is being made with the characters. So, and in some
you can exchange money for goods and services.
Yeah. And if you're in a different genre that is not a fighting game, then you can sell skins and let that work.
Sure.
And, people are interested on a whole different basis for that. But all this to say that, we're going to sit down with 2 of the devs and we're going to fucking get into what's going on with that. Because I checked because they asked me, they're like, hey, so do you own it? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I have it on Xbox. And I went to go look, and I'm like, oh, no, I had it on PC, and I had it the PS4 copy, but, like, it says last booted 2017. So
last
I'm like,
played May 3rd, 2019, 98.8 hours.
Wow. Okay. Huh. Yeah.
I played way more of that game. What's my DLCs at? I have 5 DLCs. Marching Fire and the first season pass.
It told me I last played it 9 years ago. So there's quite a bit to keep up with.
So right around the same time 2XKO was starting to get its bearings. On the road to near release.
Mm-hmm. You were going to say interesting success, weren't you?
No.
Okay.
No, I remember that For Honor has like a Ubi. So like Riot, 2XKO had Riot's monetization, which is skins. It's like the main thing.
Yeah.
For Honor has Siege's monetization, which is characters. You can earn them though, but really characters though, like that,
Right. Yeah, I bring it up every once in a while, talking about how Tekken Revolution was the free-to-play weird in-between 6 and 7 game that they came out with, and their way of monetizing it was to limit the time you could play. Yeah. Anyways, shit failed. Gonna check out For Honor on Saturday. Come hang out. Should be fun. See what the new characters are about. I was originally playing the Berserker, I think. I feel like the guy with the 2 axes that would do the fucking continuous combo.
Honestly, from what I remember playing For Honor, I played the base roster and the Chinese expansion.
Mm-hmm.
I think I played like almost every character to some degree because they were all different enough that it was like, fuck it, I'll try so-and-so. But they weren't like necessarily deep enough required that I couldn't just ping pong around. Right. Like in a fighter, you get your main and like you go over to like, well, maybe I'll play this other character, and you're like, man, I don't fucking know how to fucking play this character. And For Honor had like a baseline of how everybody works that like, yeah, you could ping pong around for goofsies.
Now I want to see the Berserker eat a mushroom in a reference to fucking Vinland Saga. No, it also was super nuts when like the warden.
Fuck I'm gonna fucking play For Honor this fucking week now, aren't I? God damn
you're gonna go take a look? Yeah, you think
like myself,
yeah,
but like fuck you.
Put the seed
I don't
in.
have time for this shit.
I put the seed in there. Yeah, the Warden made it as a guest character into Sam's show, and you're just like, what? Why? Okay, sure. Yeah, that game has been in the background, man. It's been chugging along, you know?
I think the Warden, the Kensei, and the Raider are like the best Ryu and Ken group of like any fighting game I can think of in forever. I like that core roster of
Solid.
3 guys.
Yeah. Oh, and random side note about Sam's show. I was just randomly going through, like, I was making some space to on my hard drive. I was looking at replays and videos I had saved and stuff, and I had some Samurai Showdown stuff in there, and I noted that I saved the Biken ending of that game, and I was like, why did I save this? And I rewatched it, and it was because, like,
Beat off?
Was hey. Biking is all right. There's good. There's nothing wrong with that. No, there's other places to go for that, and the game official sources is not it. We've got websites and galleries. What are we talking about? No, it's just interesting because I noticed I saved it, and I was like, why did I say that? I was watching, it was like, oh, this is a guest character that's like perfect for this world because it's like, again, Guilty Gear character that shows up that lives in Japan, but she gets to go to actual Japan. Her ending is the happiest she's ever gotten to be in any of the lore.
Oh, that's nice.
Because she gets to just be in Japan, walking around the countryside, enjoying her culture before she has to go back to the horrible
before
future.
The Gears ruined it.
Before the horrible future has to happen again. So it's this kind of interesting thing for a guest character to be walking around in a world that they couldn't fathom, just enjoying it for what it is. You know? It's really cool, actually. In case anyone just didn't know that was a thing. It's kind of nuts that they did that. Anyway, For Honor this week, that's pretty much me.
I had a very busy week. I tried to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and was attacked by a historical level thunderstorm that knocked my shit right out. The timing after that has been such that... So I decided a couple of years ago when I was in Montreal, about 6 years ago, that I wanted uninterruptible power supplies for my equipment, right?
The full-on fucking generator pull?
No, not a generator, just a big-ass battery, right?
Okay.
It's / surge protector.
Yes.
And, well, that was 6 years ago. And you know what's happening? I bought them all at the same time. All of their batteries have failed simultaneously.
Oh, from back when you first got it.
Yeah. Within the past week, all of my uninterruptible power supplies just fucking started screaming at me, and I've had streams go down. And so I have a new one to my left, and the one to my right has been disconnected and replaced with the surge protector, and I need to get another one through the fucking mail. They did not get surged. It is, in fact, their age. They are old. They are old, old batteries.
I do have to say
so that's just annoying as fuck.
A weird workaround that nets you the same solution, at least for your stream setup, is a laptop will switch to battery mode, which is
except when the internet goes out because the power went out, because the modem went out.
Yes.
You know.
Right.
So that's happening. I played Duskbloods. Did you play Duskbloods?
I did not play Duskbloods.
So I played through all of the Duskbloods tutorial, and then I played 2 full matches, and then I didn't play it anymore. And that is not a complaint about its quality. That is me going, the only reason I want to play through this goddamn network test is I want to know what this game fucking is. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is.
So I will say, like, despite the fact that you couldn't stream it and no one could, and I think Max just streamed it
pissed off, by
talking.
The way. Massively pissed off about that.
Sucks. And it's FromSoft doing what they did with Elden Ring, and they're doing what they did with Sekiro, right? In both cases. It's a fucking dinosaur policy they have on this, and I hope that changes. In the meantime, what they did do was fly out a bunch of people like Vati and Ouroboros and stuff, and they put out videos talking about it,
Should have fucking flown my ass out there.
If you got to go ahead and shake Miyazaki's hand and play it, then your tone would be a little different. And then they gave you official footage to put out there, so they had like some 20 minutes or so of gameplay.
They did give a lot of B-roll, which is good.
So everyone had the same footage to show off, and then they talked a bit about it. That Ouroboros video was really good at breaking down exactly what the game was and everything happening in it, and
it's Kirby City Trial.
It's Kirby's
Kirby Air Riders.
Yep. It's FromSoft Blood for Kirby City Trial, and it's also experimental Fortnite battle royale.
So I'll just sum it up really quickly. You're dumped into a big city map, and the goal for multiple rounds is get powerful, kill enemies. Kill bosses, find secrets, get upgrades, make your character strong. In the second round, an area of the map will be listed as a PvP section where you can get a bunch of points by going and PvPing other people. And each round after the first, people get cut for having a low score. And then at the end of the rounds, the final battle is between the 3 top scorers, and they have a PvP match on top of a big building.
Yeah.
It is Anarchy Reigns. It is Kirby City Trial. It is a free for all MOBA. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually a lot more it's a lot easier to understand when you play it than it is to explain it.
And something that immediately I was like, okay, so you're just going for the battle royale thing. Are you is this battle royale Night Rain, And it turns out it's actually really well designed and thought out in that not necessarily, because you don't really get much for killing other players prior to the PvP round at the end.
Unless you're a certain character with a certain goal.
When you're given a specific goal to go get them, yes. But otherwise, just going after other players is not that beneficial. And there's other ways to make up to get your blood currency, including PvEing a whole bunch. And I like that. That's a smart thing you can do, where you can PvE if you're somebody that's more geared towards that style of gameplay. But then it still does have to come down to that winning round of like beating everybody else, right? And something I will say, as much as it sounds really well thought out in that there's a lot of ways to get the currency that keeps you alive.
There are a lot of ways to earn score based on your personal talents.
Your style, yeah, right. Something that I'm okay with is I've been seeing between this and then from all the way from Demons through to Elden Ring, and then with Night Rain, you're seeing FromSoft get a little more hyperactive with their gameplay style, right? You're seeing like double jumps, triple jumps, and fast combat.
This game has a fucking quadruple jump and a dash.
Madness. It's crazy, right?
You are fucking flying like a robot.
No fall damage, super verticality to the stages.
You might as well be an Armored Core for a lot of the fucking gameplay in this game.
And okay, I don't like that stuff is different, but ultimately I'm okay with it. If you design a game to be more action oriented, I think that's fine. But something that I'm not super excited about is the idea that like everything FromSoft is going to do potentially has a big timer on your ass.
So they made sure that in the interview that they did with Miyazaki that he said like multiple times, by the way, we are working on a single-player game for everybody.
Yeah, okay. Because, like, even in the context of this setting and whatever's going on there, I like taking my time with these worlds. I like taking my time with what's going on here, feeling like I have to get in before the circle closes or before someone's on my shit.
I totally agree.
100%. Is a stressor that takes away from it,
So, as a result, I streamed Night Rain the day after I played the beta. And Night Rain stressed me out so bad, my chest got tight. And it stressed me out so bad for one really simple reason. I was playing with chat, and chat is fast. And some of the people, when you hop in a game that's like a year old and people in chat jump in and like grow, these guys got every achievement, every platinum, and they got like 600 hours on it.
Yep.
Right? In Night Rain, your party can go so goddamn fucking fast. I was like a child chasing them around trying to keep up. And that made my chest just tight, just like sweating, like, oh, where'd it go? Oh,
So the optimal way to have fun with Night Rain, and like the last couple of runs I was doing with it, were ones where you're not really thinking about the stuff in the map or what's going on. You're kind of autopiloting. Run over here, get to this first spot, safe boss in there, get some items. Okay, let's try our hand out at the Hypogean jail. If we get the god skins, great, and then we're gonna make it over. And you just kind of are running through the motions and hoping that the other people you're with also know that. And like that is fun in a different way, but
sure, it's a very different thing.
But you don't have the enjoyment of like taking the world in, you know?
Yeah.
And I do miss
now,
that.
Duskbloods, this is going to sound mean. Duskbloods seems, it's clearly like more of the company's baby than Night Rain was.
Okay.
Everything in it is like, like Night Rain is a game made out of pieces of Elden Ring. Right? Duskbloods is its own baby. It's its own child. I only have 2 complaints, and unfortunately, they're really big complaints. The first of which is performance is, hey, guess what? It's a console game from Software. The performance is not that great.
And it's on a Switch, too.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The one that actually sucks is the input lag is for real.
Oh, whoa. I was not expecting that.
It has a very significant amount of input lag.
So my biggest worry about the design of this game is that it's an online Switch game, which means a lot of people are going to be Wi-Fiing it the fuck up.
Yeah, no, the internet like connectivity, not a problem.
Huh.
The input lag was like it's I can feel it. And the handheld version, when you play it in like handheld, seems to be worse.
I was going to say you you felt that docked.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So hopefully they clean it up and lock it to 30 FPS and then get a night. I can deal with a little bit of input lag, but it needs to be the same.
So I saw that
every time.
How long did your runs go for? Because I saw they're about half an hour intended.
They're about half hour.
Okay.
Unless you get eliminated. Right?
Yeah. So what's the fastest you can be kicked out and queuing back up?
You can't be kicked out after there's 4 rounds, and the 4th round is just the big battle.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't be kicked out at the end of round 1. You have to make it to the at least end of round 2. So 16 minutes.
Okay.
Each round is 8 minutes long.
And so
it's 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes, and then a big fight.
And so
the fastest you could get out is 16 minutes.
From what I saw as well, for people that were not getting the breakdown on the game, you pick one of many preset characters that have unique abilities. They're just
all very cool. They're very cool characters,
specifically designed champs type of thing. The fucking jetpack robot dude seems sick. The sniper
fucking
lady.
Zork.
Yeah. There's some cool shit going on there. You want to talk about mobility? You just literally have flying in a FromSoft game. And then you PvE it or like follow your particular objectives that you've been uniquely given to get your soul's equivalent. My God, the fucking Baphomodads and the Blood Realms and the Blood Speaks.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
The gibberish speak is crazy. The words they're making up.
There are a lot of fucking Baphomodads.
I can't handle it. It's too much.
It's a lot.
And you basically have to, essentially make enough souls for your character to, sort of last and not get cut. And then you're going to have ways to do that involve not just PvEing, but like you can enter like a giant boss area and then immediately summon everybody on the map to help you.
And you can't fight each other when you're co-oping the boss.
You're just raid bossing
Player
together.
collision is straight up turned off.
Interesting. Yeah. And then you
which
split
makes
the
sense.
reward.
I can't confirm this. This is just my gut. But in the tutorial, the tutorial puts you into bot matches. Like full-scale bot matches, which to me says, hey, by the way, people who are worried that it's a multiplayer-only game, I am of the opinion that this game will have just straight-up CPU matches. Like for when the game, the population moves on or it becomes, untenable.
So the part that I when I talked about like the pace of fucking lighting a fire under your ass in Night Rain, you did get to slow it down walking around the round table. This has a hub area as well.
Yes, sir.
That was discussed. But was it closed off in what you played?
There's pieces of it that are closed off.
Okay.
There's parts of it that were like a little mist fog, like can't access during the network test kind of thing.
Okay, because I'm wondering if they're going to do a similar thing where they're like, here's your slow walkabout and lure it area, and then here's your go fucking go.
Probably. That's exactly how they're probably going to do it, yeah.
Because, that Night Rain roundtable you did have to walk. There's, scenes, and you go through the memories, and it does play out with...
You need to be able to take a deep breath sometime.
Yes. But overall, too, like... The deep breath that comes while the pacing of taking a deep breath and then suddenly getting ripped into something and then back out into slow pace is something I like about the FromSoft games, and the ones that are and going decidedly full on multiplayer with it is a change, which is again it's fine. Like I just hope that
we'll see.
Yeah, I hope that there's enough there to satisfy that itch.
Absolutely no news on when it's going to come out. They said it's going to come out this year. I don't know. I don't know.
Who else looked cool? The
old guy who turns into a fucking dinosaur.
Dinosaur Man. Dinosaur Man looked cool. Fucking Kunoichi lady. Yeah. A whole bunch of freaks. It was interesting. Did you did you get to try everybody, or did you end up sticking on one?
Wooly, you just went. Oh man, what a cool cast of characters! A robot bird person, a dinosaur man, and a Chinese person. Ah, what a bunch of freaks!
I said Kunoichi lady. She's cool.
Yeah,
their backstories are freaky. Their backstories are nuts. They are. Go read them.
Oh, she's Vietnamese? Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I would like it to come out this year, but I would like it to come out with a solid frame rate, better firster. Is what I would like.
Did you get proposed to by anybody?
No, I didn't. No. Everybody I ran into just attacked on sight. Even when it was to their detriment, which I thought was interesting. There's a lot of that game where it's like it would actually be to players' advantage to ignore other players and to just focus on gearing up. But during the network test, every single time a human being saw you, it was just fucking on sight.
Okay. How did the hyper fighting feel?
It felt like a relatively good Souls PvP. It's just that it needs the input lag need to fix that.
Did you have double jumping fucking Otogi battles in midair while...
No, I just rolled out of the way when they came down.
Okay.
The way that people triple jump to try and slam you on the ground feels a lot like Fortnite players gentrifying their fucking
okay,
position.
yeah, okay. And you got to crank the camera up to see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, just roll when they come down.
Did you you played Zork?
I played fucking Zork. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, okay.
Zork forever, bro.
No, the fact that the rocket dash has a hit at the end of it sells that whole character free.
Yeah. That rocket dash is for sneak attacks.
Oh, you can't.
If somebody's looking at you and you do it,
it ain't happening.
They can just, as soon as you start to shoot, they just roll.
Okay, it's like
the
Reinhardt,
main thing is that when you do it, it goes really fucking far, really far. So you can see somebody 80 feet away, and when they're doing their own bullshit,
ambush,
right? And then you just hit them, and they're just like, oh, I'm in a fight.
Yeah. This is weird, but Bid for Power had that.
Oh,
yeah, a million years ago. You just slam it. You had some attacks that were too slow to use in a fight with someone looking at you, but they were perfect for ambushing of someone who's the third party not paying attention. Interesting. Okay.
What else I do this week? I was invited by Garrett and Kyle Grinding Gear over at Grinding Gear to do some Occult Crescent North Horn in 14 on the last day of the Pony promotion. And that similarly, Grinding Gear is starting to become like a nexus of the Final Fantasy XIV content creator community.
Oh, yeah.
So I loaded into that at 7 o'clock in the AM because everybody's on the fucking East Coast and life isn't fair. And that became... there were so many Foogies, I had to make 2 rows.
Are you guys logged in while you're chatting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was with Kyle and Garrett from Grinding Gear. That was with Mr. Happy and Sly from State of the Realm. That was with Jesse Cox. That was with Pint, Girl DM, Shenpai, Joe Cat, and Wrath.
Wow. Okay. That's 9.
Yeah. So Occult Crescent is a enormous 48 person multiplayer space which works for this purpose. That was a mess of a stream. Fun mess, but like massive mess. We got to just chit chat about anything for like fucking 8 hours. And my personal highlight is finding out who can and can't do math in that group. Because there are encounters that ask you to figure out what a prime number is or what numbers are divisible by 4. And some people...
Silent Hill puzzle shit. Yeah.
Some people are just better or worse than other people at knowing what a prime number is.
Okay.
The phrase, why do I need to know what a prime number is?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not... if you design a game that's meant to be that kind of puzzle game that is extrinsic in nature... That's okay. You can do it, Lorelei and the laser eyes type shit, where you're staring at a puzzle that that is genuinely checking into your knowledge of history, context, and math, and a bunch of other things. But in most cases, if you're playing a different genre of game, like again, Silent Hill, horror, whatever, Final Fantasy, the puzzle should be contained within the world. It shouldn't be like some fucking...
It is contained within a world. You know how, Wooly?
The world
if an enemy is casting level 5 death, a very, very classic Final Fantasy spell, you look at your own level in game and go, is it a divisible level 5?
Sure.
That, like, forcing the player to do math problems is going back decades in Final Fantasy.
That's a lot of people.
Name a prime number. Go.
5?
Yeah, see? Easy.
Okay. The fuck? You put me on the spot? What the fuck? All right.
Yeah. There's a lot of easy early prime numbers, but hey, it's great. So did that. Then we watched, me and Paige watched, what do you call it? The Gamescom Live, which was fucking weak as shit this year.
Yeah, that's the news.
Genuinely.
That's the news. We'll get into that.
And then I played some Mortal Shell 2. Now, I know you played some Mortal Shell 1.
Beat it.
And Mortal Shell 1 was flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Shell 2, still flawed, but wow, what a fucking enormous step up.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, absolutely incredible step up.
Because what my takeaway from Mortal Shell 1 is I wish I could take this class of character out of this game and put it into a better one.
That is what they did for Mortal Shell 2.
Okay.
They took the core concept of the shells and the weird types of blocking and stuff like that they had going on.
The defense is awesome. Yeah.
And it is just a massive improvement in like every respect. It's more responsive, it's more interesting, it's better looking, it has more interesting areas, it has better versions of the existing systems.
Okay.
It's super cool. Now they are like I would say hard patching the game. So they're looking at feedback and they're like very significantly changing aspects of like some of the guts and the balance. So I'm going to wait off on it for a little bit, but I was crazy impressed playing Mortal Shell 2.
Are they going boss heavy or exploration heavy?
Both.
Yeah, okay. Balance them out. Okay.
Like one of the things that I found, like remember in the first game you would get like a consumable item and then you would use it and it would go, this item will get better after 10 uses.
Yeah.
Well, they have that now, but instead it's not use it, it's find them. It's, hey, did you find a mushroom that cures poison? When you find 9 more mushrooms, it'll upgrade itself into a better mushroom that cures poison and also heals you.
Okay.
And all items in the game can be equipped to your active slot, where it's like cure burn, cure poison, or like cure, or like give yourself MP, or it can go into your passive slot where it gives you like just a buff. So like the mushroom that cures poison, if you equip it to passive, it increases your poison resistance.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Because, yeah, the problem with forcing the player to use everything multiple times is even the things you don't need, you might need once. Like, you want fire resistance against something that's fire-related, but you might not have the rest of the game to do that. So why go wasting it in these circumstances when you don't fucking need it, you know?
So all items in that game are now, like, restorable at bonfires.
Okay.
The game loads you up with 3 types of parries right away. You have the standard block that has a perfect parry. You have only a perfect parry that does way more guard damage. And then you have the I've turned to stone.
The shell. Yeah.
And it regenerates, but if you do it perfectly, it regenerates instantly.
Okay. That mechanic is so interesting because it's like
it's very cool.
In the middle of attacking, you turn to stone and can block whatever's about to hit you, and then
it's really
unstone, unpetrify, and continue the attack.
They also have like a basic system where you unlock these runes that you can equip to your character that are just a bunch of weird effects. They're basically like Elden Ring rings on crack.
Okay.
So it's stuff like, hey, every enemy that you kill will increase your total health, and they all level up as well. Or the infusion system where you'd put like blood on your sword.
Okay.
That also just regenerates at every bonfire. Also, every bonfire equivalent is also a secret dungeon. Like, you sit at it to rest and level up, and then it goes, do you want to cleanse it? And you say, yeah, and then you go into a micro dungeon.
Oh, okay.
It's super cool.
Big gun, dumb cannon, slow.
You do shoot guns.
Big, slow cannon.
And the way you get ammo for those guns is by hitting people with melee attacks.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And also the perfect guarding in that game is Sekiro. Like, you perfect guard, like bang, 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 and then they become stunned, and you. So, everything about the game is defined by consumable items are for chumps.
Mm-hmm.
No one uses that shit ever. Ammo is for bitches.
Also, are there many more shells to pick from that are very...
there are 12, okay. And then I think there's probably some secret ones.
Yeah, that's quite a bit more than like the 4 or 5 I think you originally talked about. Okay.
And also, like, the game's like primary unlock is that they give you a big map, and then you go to the little room of shells, and you spend your level up currency on the shell, and that's when it pings it on your map and says, all right, go get it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, that all sounds a lot better. Now, admittedly, like, some of that stuff was like mild annoyance territory. The thing that turned me the fuck off with that first game was when you get to the big open Onyx area and how completely desolate and empty it was.
Terrible. I would get lost in there all the time.
It sucked so much. It felt so unfinished, and it really just felt like they got to the halfway point of the game and then just gave up.
Yeah. I'm super, super impressed by Mortal Shell. I'm waiting for them to patch it a little bit more before I go into it. So, you know, when you just get your hands on it and you're just like, this is I'm holding something special. This is I felt the same way playing this as I did when I was starting to play Lies of P.
Right, okay.
Where I'm like, oh, some people are catching right the fuck up to From Software.
They're going in their own direction. Yeah.
They're doing their own thing, and it's obviously a Souls game, and it's obviously its own thing, but like the Lies of P guys, they caught up, and they made a fucking great Souls game.
Sounds like they did it in
these
one.
guys, like, ooh, it's really good.
Yeah, I guess like sometimes it takes more than one try, to kind of figure it out. Sometimes it takes however many Lords of the Fallen has been
This
doing.
game is improved in the same way you would expect a sequel to a game on PS2 to improve.
PS2 to what?
PS2. You remember PS2 games, how you'd have the game that was like kind of mediocre, and then you'd have the sequel, and you'd be like, oh, shit.
Oh, like, okay, a game within that same generation. Yeah. Okay.
So, like, I have not played enough of it, but considering how much shit was jank as fuck about Mortal Shell 1, this feels like a Zone of the Ender scenario.
Okay. It's funny because of these Souls-likes, it feels like, there's the ones that come along, disappear into the ether. Like, I haven't heard anyone talk about, like, the Surge ever since it
Surge
dropped.
was all right.
Yeah, I guess.
I was sponsored to play the Surge, and I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. I don't know how people ended up feeling in the end. Kazan, no idea what ended up happening.
That game is
that.
really good. It's also, like, legitimately crazy difficult.
Okay. So there's a couple of these Souls-likes that have been solid and just kind of quiet then. Okay, fair enough.
I might go back to Kazan because you can play as a lady, and I feel like the lady Berserker looks way cooler.
Yes, I saw that update, yeah. But in this case, okay, Surge 2 is really sick, so there you go. That's the thing. It's like the one that comes after where you really come into your own and figure out what you're doing.
I played a game on backlog called AI Limit, which was very solid. There's a bunch of these like flying around. Lords of the Fallen and the other Lords of the Fallen, a game I was sponsored to play, which means it's really good. Didn't seem to make the same impact as other games.
They're on Lords of the Fallen 2-3 now? 2-3?
I believe they are calling it Lords of the Fallen again.
Lords of the Fallen.
Are they calling it Lords of the Fallen again? Oh, they are calling it 2? Okay, it's the third game,
2-3.
but it's called 2.
2-3. Yes, okay. Lords of the Fallen. Yeah, all right.
Very strange. I don't know what they're doing with the naming shit on that.
New text document, bracket 1, bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it for me this week. I'm going to be streaming a lot this coming week and the week after and the week after and the week after. Because September is going to be upon us on the 28th. That's Friday. So I have a number of sub-goals of personal embarrassments and interesting ideas for streams going forward that I will be talking to you guys about on the 28th. One of those goals is an embarrassment to be done to me on this podcast. Again, it's not clown though. It's not clown.
What am I getting? What am I getting ripped into here? What is?
You're not getting ripped into nothing.
What is
it's all on this side of the camera.
Okay. Just what is this tornado effect here? I mean,
Don't worry about that.
Either way, it has to be engaged with. I have to confront it.
You will have to engage with it a little, probably. Paige is streaming in a couple of hours, 3 o'clock today. I think it's Mass Effect. Tonight, I'm going to be playing 14 with the girls. We're going to go grind some paste. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I'm going to be doing Noita with Girl DM. That will be interesting because I don't think I'm any good at Noita. Noita's the roguelike wizard game.
Yes, not Noitu Love To. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And on Friday, which is the start of September, we'll be talking about the goals for this September. And I will also be doing a big stream starting at 10 in the morning where we're going to play a Metal Gear Solid 4 and the new Star Wars XCOM game, Zero Company. And then I'll stream some more stuff on the weekend.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. What is Noitu Love To? Oh fuck! You look that shit up by Konjac. Super.
No, Wooly, I will grab the goal for you so you can prepare your shit.
I appreciate the preparation. I appreciate it.
I gotta scroll up.
Okay. While you do that, let me Let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
Whom we love.
But you know who we love as well? Ourselves.
I love myself a lot.
I love myself. I love myself. It's important to love yourself, and that's why it's important to go get a Castle Super Beast shirt from the Hold On a Minute. At this goal, you will...
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You see what I'm talking about?
Okay. One of those.
You see?
One of those is in a tier of lunacy far beyond the others. They're all pretty wild, but that one right there,
that one,
batshit nuts.
Yeah. Do you want to? I'll send you the last one.
Okay.
The one at the top that no one's gonna reach.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that checks out.
No one's gonna reach it. But if you can, fine, fuck it.
Oh, you just want to hurt yourself.
No, I don't want to hurt myself. That would be immoral. I want to do things that are funny.
It's important to love yourself, which brings us back to Castle Super Beast merch over at orchid8.com. You can go get the Legacy shirt and the Legacy desk mat, as well as the clown tee. Apropos, timing-wise, these are all up on Bricky's shop, and the shirts are, as far as I can tell, on the way for anyone who made that first batch of orders. You're going to be getting those. The mats have already arrived as well. So... these are the shirts that are basically including every title that the show has had so far. And you know what? I have worn them in public. I've put my money where my mouth is, and I have worn the Castle Super Beast Legacy shirt out and about where people had to confront it. Now, was I wearing it one day when I had to go to daycare to pick up the baby? I thought about it. And then I took
You thought about it for like a second.
And then I took it off. But maybe we'll build up to it.
Wooly, you should have a subathon goal, which is wear the CSB shirt to the airport to catch your flight.
I think, look, we're in the phase where everyone at the daycare is getting to know each other. And maybe when the time is right, I'll roll up and be like, yeah, that's what I'm about.
Bro, I took the little man to like a new like child activity center style thing, like for the kids to learn and do numbers and shit. And I started taking him to the new place in my neighborhood right after the last subathon. So I was like full ass purple dad.
Yeah.
And I had to lost a bet.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's
there
it.
you go, yeah. No,
Which
actually,
I might have to do again this year in terms of like, what the fuck? I'm like, lost a bet.
Yeah.
It's a long story.
No, real talk, actually, I just didn't want to sweat it up on the bike with the thing. But either way.
As I've gotten older, I'm changing shirts more than like once a day or twice a day in some respects. Because if I have to do something, I don't want to sit down in this chair for a stream and just be like,
But either way, orchid8.com, Castle Super Beast collection. Go click on it. Go get one of those. And enjoy. This podcast is also brought to you by Rocket Money. That is the solution to the modern problem of subscribing to too many services that you don't know what you're subscribed to anymore, getting charged for things you don't recognize, looking at your bills and going, I don't know what is that service is. I don't remember subscribing to it. And or getting caught up in a really difficult to unsubscribe from scheme, because in a lot of situations, some of these apps make it very difficult to figure out how to unsubscribe. Not great. But yeah, it's a simple way to take a look at a glance. You get an overview of everything that you've signed up for, subscribed to, and if you're having a particularly difficult to unsubscribe from an app or service, they can help do that for you. So you are able to just get your budget together, save money where you were potentially wasting it, where you weren't paying attention, and help you get your, some of that loose spending under control as well. Helps you get a big picture of everything. Was very easy when I took a look at my account and I saw stuff that changed names over the years to be harder to detect. Very annoying. But yeah, you can use Rocket Money to help you cancel all those unwanted subscriptions. It's a personal finance app that helps you with that. It can monitor your spending, and it can help lower your bills and help you grow your savings as well. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/superbeast. That's rocketmoney.com/superbeast. ROCKETMONEY.com/superbeast. Thank you, Rocket Money.
Thank you, Rocket Money.
This week. All right. Yo, if you're getting your tabletop together, Hero Forge, that's where you want to go. Hero Forge lets you make a character creator right there in your browser, and you can get all kinds of cool shit printed for your tabletop needs. If you want to have custom D20s printed, you can get that done. If you want to have your miniatures done, you can do that as well. Recently, I was talking to Prawn Zone. Let me see if I can pull it up, because Prawn Zone was getting busy with a bunch of new creations, and I was like, have you considered my girl Joe? Have you considered my servant Job? And let me take a second here to pull it up, because when Prawn Zone got cracking, let me tell you, I'm someone that likes spending my time with a character creator, but I'll definitely say that this is mastery of it. Where is it? Here we go. Sorry, one sec. Look at this fucking cool shit right here. Look at that.
Ooh, hold on. I got a
Look
big
at
picture of this. How is it?
Ooh. Right?
That's good.
Super sick. That's a Joe Guns miniature made.
That pose looks really familiar.
It's a monk pose. It's a cool. I asked for some cool kind of monk shit. I sent some cool monk, Shaolin style stuff. Got one of those going. And over here there's also there's a cool samurai one as well. Super dope. So yeah, check it out. I think is it a Jet Li? Is it a Jet Li? It might be a Jet Li. Anyway, Hero Forge, place to go for that. And you can go nuts with your creations. You can add tons of details by adding the kit bashing feature as well, which lets you add up to 20 different accessories and models and things like that all together. Get really elaborate with it. You can print out standees, and with the Pro subscription as well, you can keep an eye. They have new items that drop every week, so be sure to check them out for your mounts, your armor, familiars, whatever it is you want to make as well. Go to heroforge.com and use the code CASTLE to get 5% off all orders of physical miniatures. That is code CASTLE to get 5% off all orders of physical miniatures, not combinable with other sales or promotions. Heroforge.com. Start designing your custom miniatures and dice today. Check back often. They add new content every week. Thanks, Heroforge.
Thanks, Heroforge.
That Joe Guns looks sick. I think I want to get that printed.
You should.
Have a permanent reminder of the fact that the glass has been broken.
Yeah, no, my favorite thing is when people what are the things about because you're so on the outside of the MMO thing. It's making pictures and figures of your Blorbo is a fucking key part of the fucking experience. It is absolutely vital.
I am really lucky I like my Blorbo a lot.
Yeah.
That's doing a lot of heavy lifting. My tune.
I fucking love the term blorbo, man.
I was gonna say it's either that or your tune. You know.
Oh man, nobody uses that anymore. That's actually fallen out because it's so old.
It reminds me. It's a term from it sounds like it clearly comes from people who are so outside of games, but just jumped into WoW only. And
no, that's not where it's from.
Really?
Tune is from Toontown. An ancient pre-MMO.
Oh.
It's actually from people way on the inside of games.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Okay, on some Neopets shit.
Yeah,
Jesus.
That's why it's fallen out, because, like, that was for, like, people our age playing WoW and referencing old shit.
So their characters were their tunes. Whoa.
The people who say tunes are, like, in their 60s now.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. I thought it was just some weird, like, I don't play any video games, and I played WoW, and I'm just calling it, like, a cartoon.
No, it's
I think it is.
I play way too many video games, actually.
Okay.
It's the complete opposite.
This week podcast is sponsored by Quince, and that is the cozy, comfy sweaters and shirts, and they got lots of great fits to check out. I have been rocking the Mongolian cashmere sweater, which is a wild...
Fancy.
It sounds fancy, and I was like, that's crazy. And then I got one, and I was like, this is insanely cozy, feels really good during the summer. And then I got another one because of how much I liked it. And then also, I was, like, holding the baby, and she was like, and, like, feeling it and liking how soft it was. And I was like, okay, good. So, yeah. They've got that. And you wouldn't think, like, necessarily that you'd want to rock a sweater in the summer sometimes, but it breathes nice and easy and feels good, you know? Definitely worth checking out. They've got everything priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands as well. So they're working directly with ethical factories, cutting out the middleman. You're not paying for the brand markup on it. And yeah, if you have not felt Mongolian cashmere, I recommend it. It's really nice. Upgrade your everyday. You can download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers, or go to quince.com/superbeast, and you'll get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns as well, now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/superbeast. Thanks, Quince.
Thanks, Quince.
And last but not least, this podcast is brought to you by AG1. That is your solution to getting energy, getting your gut health, getting your immune health, all that stuff. I try to eat greens, and I've been doing a better job of it. It helps that the baby's getting some good health in her, and, you know, we got it around. But
you got to be a good role model.
You sure do, you say, as you crack that open.
I'm at work. My role model doesn't apply to these people.
Right now, the job is to stay awake. Here's the deal, though. While trying to eat healthy, sometimes it slips away. And in the morning times, I'm like, God damn it. It's just not always, I don't always have the time for it. So, yeah, AG1, it's a daily health drink you can grab, and very quickly, with 1 scoop and 8 ounces of water, you're getting your multivitamins, your pre and your probiotics, your superfoods, antioxidants, all that good stuff. And, of course, you know, eating your greens and getting all of that under control is absolutely optimal, but this is a pretty solid way to get your health going, especially if you're like me and you've been lacking on it. So I appreciate as well that with that 1 scoop, it tastes pretty good. So it's easy to keep up with getting the good greens because shit tastes good. I really like it. Yeah, I grab a scoop in the morning, and that's all it takes. So they got the pouches as well, where you can do it very quickly, or the scoops, depending on your preference. For a limited time, you can save 20% on your first subscription order of AG1 Next Gen or AG1 Pro at drinkag1.com/superbeast. That's drinkag1.com/superbeast. Thank you, AG1.
Thanks, AG1.
All right, to Germany we go.
Oh, that we're doing a show with the Germans.
Yeah.
There were very few people that came up on that stage and went, "Hello, welcome to Germany." In fact, there were none.
I think it was surprisingly stupid of them to do the cutaway to the in-crowd we're using the lighting of the stage moment to then just hype up nothing for Gamescom itself. It was a big it was a big reveal moment where everyone's like, "Oh, something big's coming," and it was like, "No, nothing's coming. We were just showing you Gamescom actually." And then you train everybody to get excited for nothing, and then they are not excited the next time. Don't do
Also,
that.
there was a really funny vibe to it because it was like, "Welcome to Germany. We will show you all of the games we have from China."
And guess what? China is like...
China and Korea are going nuts.
China has basically decided, yeah, Platinum Games, we're doing that. That's us now. And they've picked a genre and they're sticking to it. You know, I never expected to get, the wildest title, the wildest dev company logo drop I've ever seen was Quantic Dream on Star Wars Eclipse.
Sure.
It broke my chest. I couldn't breathe.
Well, don't worry. You're never going to see that logo next to that title ever fucking again.
Watching what appears to be Belden Bring and seeing a Hoyoverse logo drop.
That was actually like, what?
Batshit.
They have also clarified that Nodus is not going to be gacha for characters.
Oh.
Which people now think means it will be gacha for weapons, which is actually like worse in a lot of ways.
If they specified for characters, then that says a lot. So Nodus
Same thing. Ananta, the anime GTA game, has specified that it is not going to be gacha for characters.
Yeah, I'm calling it Anime Saints Row. You know.
So let's just hold up. I'm going to do this.
Sure.
Like, okay.
So Hoyoverse announced a bunch of shit. The Petit Planet and all that stuff.
They announced like 6 fucking games.
And it feels like their thing, because, you know, they've got infinite money, right? They've got the fucking money glitch. So now the thing is, we're going to just do every genre that you love, and we're going to put gacha somewhere in it.
And now we're going to, like, scroll down the list of art styles also.
Covering all ground, and just making that roll for SSR money.
Yeah.
Pretty smart strategy, because, hey, guess what? Gambling works. You know, I get it. It's crazy how on the nose Elden shit looks, though, you know? Between that, Tides of Annihilation, and I want to say at least one other game that showed up there. I'm like, that is just millennia. Like, you're not... Like, it's... Okay, there was an era... I was talking about this a little bit while I was streaming, but I was like, there's an era of things are doing FromSoft, things are doing Souls. And we've clearly moved into not just Souls, but, like, Elden. The designs...
I think there's an even better example of that. There were 2 games that were shown off there that were ripoffs of Pal World.
Yeah.
They were
ripoffs of the ripoffs of Pokemon.
Yes. They were ripoffs of fucking Pal World. Fucking let's go.
The floodgates are open. It's just so interesting how the like imitator mind kind of works, or imitation design kind of works, because like it's almost like, you know, that you can make a game with, you know, complex character building, a corpse run, bonfires, and hard bosses with cool mechanics and weapons, and get people if it's really fun to play. But you're taking it a step further to be like, no, it has to be kind of golden aura. It has to have things, dragons with the type of scaling and armor and kind of skinnier, lankier designs. The designs themselves, the aesthetic of the world, is also leaning Elden Ring, not just the mechanics.
This actually makes perfect sense with like Chinese production culture. So like we've lived, our lives have been lived in the specter of Chinese production and like the quote unquote Chinese knockoff, right? And there's no reason that shouldn't extend to art, right? And at the end of the day, a lot of that like production is like, we're going to make something that's very similar to something else, but it's still going to be good, and we're going to make it on budget, cheap. And that's a viable path forward. And it's difficult, and I know a lot of people like, that's unfair or whatever. Like, no, that is the path to ensuring a successful industrialization of your economy. Post-war, Japan did the same exact goddamn thing from the 40s to the 80s before they transitioned into high-end versions of a lot of like electronic goods. right? Where they made in the 40s and 50s, Japan made knockoffs of existing electronics products. That's what they had available. That was what their industrial capacity could do. That's what they did. We're looking at that, but now we're going to see Chinese knockoff video games for like 30 more years before the goal to like the super high end, internally consistent whatever comes out. But like that doesn't mean that these ones are bad. They're just highly similar.
Speaking of China and Japan and getting their own versions of things, I saw the trailer for The Defiant was the World War II game. And it wasn't the one I was thinking of, because I was originally thinking...
I thought it was the other one.
14 Years of Flames. It's not.
Yeah, there are two
coming.
World War II games about fighting the Japanese in 1942.
Like, all I can say is, like, okay, China, you get to tell your story, because nobody else is going to do it. And
nobody's gonna
and
tell
like
a story
the insane
of Chinese soldiers in World War II.
The insane super American propaganda style war film movie thing. Yeah, you all get to do it. You get to do it. When you do it,
fucking wait. I can't wait for. Oh my god, how come people are playing this Chinese propaganda? Hold on, let me load up Call of Duty or Battlefield.
like I'm seeing it and I'm watching it's like a Chinese viewpoint of World War II with like super jingoistic propaganda style like FPS Call of Duty shit happening, and you're seeing the soldiers like crawling up to the Imperial soldiers and fucking getting, and it's taking place in a setting that looks Nanking-esque, and it's just like, yeah, you get to do that because, again, no one else will tell this story. Shit happened, and Japan ain't gonna like the fact that this game is coming out, but fucking go for it, y'all. And everyone's gonna breathe real heavy while they play it like, whoo.
I would, you know what, man?
But I didn't see this coming. And I'm like, you're allowed. You're super allowed to make this.
Medal of Honor Rising Sun.
Which one was that?
So Medal of Honor did a bunch of fighting the German World War II games.
Okay.
And those went out to Germany, but they had changes. Like you couldn't show a swastika, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then Medal of Honor Rising Sun came out, and that was actually sent and shipped out to Japan.
In fact, sorry.
And it did fairly well, despite the fact that you were playing American soldiers shooting Imperial Japanese soldiers. Like to the first person shooter Japanese guys' credit, they were like, yeah, cool.
So we QA'd, I want to say, Medal of Honor 3 in the office for like a weekend, and I remember there was a build that was the European and the German build specifically that they had to do a pass for all swastikas being edited out and all references to Nazis being edited out. There was a podcast titled called "We Shan't See the Ghost of Nanking." Yeah, I take it back. We are about to see it, but it's not the Ghost of Nanking. It's Call of Nanking.
Bro,
there was a comment
that scrolled by my Twitch chat that cracked me up so bad I couldn't even respond to it in the moment during that trailer. And I looked down. It was during the Chinese World War II game, and I looked down and I saw somebody say, 1942, man, Japan was wildin' back then.
That's wildin'.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
And the thing is like, you want to talk about history that gets buried and fucking unacknowledged, and people get mad if anyone even kind of brings it up in some cases, but again, because of nationalism and shit.
Yeah.
What if this game comes out and starts talking about all that buried history and all that shit, but it's really good, though. But it's actually really fun and well made, and is like, oh shit, the word is spreading because the game is really fun to play. Like, that would be crazy if the way that this actually gets fucking talked about.
It would be very interesting.
It is a head-on confrontation culturally with it is China pulling up to Japan going, yeah, now what? What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? You know, because and I'm surprised I didn't see it coming, but here we are.
I foresee a Japanese politician holding up a copy or a picture of a copy of the game, going, "Yo, this shit didn't happen.
Right.
It never happened. We were never even there."
And also, don't play it. You know, to which people are like, "I'm fucking loading into lobbies right now. Shit is dope as hell." No, that's crazy. Alongside these announcements, we also saw.
I think the craziest thing is that like an unlockable weapon for that game would be like the doohickey.
I mean, shit depends on how far into the future you want to go.
Just really to just boop. Just
I guess if you want to bring in all potential weapons related to the controversy and related to the fallout of everything that happened, then yeah. There's a through line. True. And it beats the katana.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else did we see? We saw another trailer for Townfall. Not much to say there, except that looks like a cool Silent Hill game.
I am looking forward to that very strongly.
Yep, I am down.
They showed off a very long gameplay preview a little while ago, and the gameplay preview featured you wandering around the town with absolutely no map at all, but you would get like a little CRT that would show you like a weird like Ring style video that would show like the exterior of a house. So you had to line it up with like by exploring the town, like, oh, it was that house, and then once you go to the house, it's then like, oh, and it was this path, and so you're like a very, very interesting way to navigate you.
I'm really curious about how, and this is kind of in general, how media handles a topic like school shootings, right? Like, how are you going to get into that? And in this case, like with a horror element to it, you know?
Let me ask you, who do you remember what team is making Townfall?
That's a question for you, buddy.
Silent Hill Townfall is being made by Screenburn. Screenburn is based in Glasgow, Scotland.
Okay.
Because the question of how a video game handles a topic like school shootings is going to depend very profoundly on where those developers are based.
Right. Scotland. Okay. Huh. Well, we'll see who's writing and how it's going. I was kind of watching the trailer, and I forgot what the original conflict or so was and what everyone's talking about. And then I was reminded, it's like, oh yeah, it seems to be implying that there was some kind of like mass shooting, and then that's what like the protagonist is talking about.
It is very likely going to be based around these. I believe it's a Scottish mass shooting that was the prelude to like the UK locking down a bunch of guns way back in the day.
There is, if you want to talk about just like. Whatever, like writing that can be fucking super heavy. There is more than enough material to work with there. I'm curious to see how this goes, but so far it looks interesting. We also saw, hey, Mega Man Dual Override.
Looks cool.
Do, he's back. He's there. And it's the reveal.
Inafune's stink is finally gone. We can make a new Mega Man game.
And the reveal of Twinkle Girl. There she is. Oh my god, Twinkle Girl is fucking dead.
Kill her ass.
Twinkle Girl revealed. Twinkle Girl is dead. And you know what? I mean, she's fine. I'm not going to say good riddance, but like, again... There's Twinkle Girl, and then there's Splash Woman. You know? There's Quake Woman.
Yeah.
Twinkle Girl. We'll see. Yay, more Mega Man. Yay, he's alive. Yay, 2027, I guess.
I love Mega Man. I like Mega Man. I would like to give Mega Man a hug. I think he's cool.
He ran, he jumped, and he shot. The trailer for Warlock D&D I was describing how, as I'm watching this, I'm like, when I see the D&D logo, it's actually like a negative to me in a lot of cases.
Yes it is. Absolutely.
Do you have it for the same reason I do?
I have it for the reason that there have been a lot of D&D games, and a lot of them are really bad.
Okay, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not fucking Dragonlance, you know?
Oh no, it's a lot. There have been a lot of really bad D&D games.
Man.
It is a mark of shit rather than a mark of quality most of the time.
So as that trailer went on, I was like, okay, but what I will say by the end of it was like, it looks okay, a little rough around the edges.
Very directed, is what it looks.
Yeah, that was a vertical slice. That was a vertical ass slice. It was
that demo might not exist.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a bull shot. It was a demo, but it was a guided slice. You know, pulling up the rain and all that. What I would say would make a game like that interesting / the point of its existence ought to be a world where the full spell short list is available to you and you can go nuts with it, right? So
I don't think you're going to get the full spell list, but I think you're going to get like a curated list of all the greatest hits.
Whatever Warlock spells you're getting from whatever source, you know, being is giving them to you, if you have a giant list of spells to work with, that's the thing about the game that would be the most interesting, especially if they're all spells that you could look at a fucking D&D guide and see and be like, oh yeah, there it is, and then making them interact with each other and stuff.
It would be really interesting because Warlocks in Dungeons and Dragons
don't have as many spells to go.
They get a very small list of spell slots, but they can regenerate those spell slots on short rest, which actually works really, really, really well for an action game because you can just define short rest as any period you're not in a fight. And be like, well, yeah, of course she's regenerating her spell slots. She's not fighting people every second. She's by herself, you know. But on top of that, the Warlock spell list is very good and has some like you see Eldritch Blast and you see Misty Step in there, right? And like, yeah, those are cool. Like you can just immediately say that like, this is a particularly strong Warlock, so they get to do their spell list more often.
Yeah, if you only have a few slots and you have like every possible choice, then like that could be interesting, you know. But that was pretty much it. It was so weird watching chat split down the middle, where those who played Mugenics were hyped for the Guillotina song, and those who did not.
That performance was great, but unfortunately the mixing was terrible.
I guess that does happen. It wasn't quite the flute man type, mixing, but it just reminded me though how much I fucking love that soundtrack, and I think Mugenics has one of the best like game OSTs of the last while. It was
unexpectedly incredible.
Yeah. That like that's gonna be like a sleeper one people are gonna forget about, but the Mugenics soundtrack is like one of my favorite in fucking I don't know how long, an incredible amount of time. And also I'll even give credit for something too. Sometimes there's obviously FF7 Remake is an amazing OST, but there's 1,000 tracks on it. And you know what I mean? Like some of them are getting lost inside of each other. So it's like, it's good by virtue of there's infinite music to listen to there.
Yeah, I would say that when I would play through Remake and Rebirth, I was overwhelmed by the amount of tracks, and not very few stood out because it was just the feeling of the whole time I'm playing the game going, man, the music in this game is really good.
Yes.
But when I played Mugenics and we got to the vocal songs, I'd be like, yo, I'm putting this on a playlist.
Exactly, right? Same thing for Okami. It's 5 to 6 discs of music that you can go through. A lot of it's great, but like Mugenics has a particular list of maybe like 15, and they're all just incredible. Like there's something about the curated Revengeance, Maniac Agenda style list of songs that are all incredible. As opposed
remember hearing
to
about that song about it's the rats, and I'm like, oh, this fucking game has some fucking kick-ass fucking music in it.
I'm chasing rats. Yeah. So yeah, she came up and say you'll be mine. Talking about things aping things, that No Law game is like, okay, cyberpunk is a genre, it's not just a property. But like I was just saying about the Elden Ring thing, you appear to not just want to be cyberpunk, you want to literally be Cyberpunk 2077. You want your backgrounds and buildings and the types of mods and Chrome that people have to look like it is from the world of Cyberpunk 2077. And that's I'm just like, why not make a cyberpunk genre thing? But
because it's hard.
Just pick your art cues from yourself, man.
No, it's hard. Shut up.
Parent confusion marketing redux, you know? Anyway,
it's hard to do.
Then you want fresh ideas. I'll say fresh ideas coming off of Ontos, the rat brain fucked up. Did
you play Soma?
No. This game,
Soma has the highest level of body horror I've ever encountered in anything.
Yeah.
And this looks to be trying to one-up that.
I feel it. I feel it because my impression is this game will have an ick for everyone. You will discover your ick if you didn't know about it yet. Feels like they're trying to cover all bases.
We have offloaded this gentleman's brain to a rat server. All right, I'm going to buy it. You have completely sold me.
Just, I don't know, like, whether visually or conceptually, they'll find a way to make your skin crawl, probably. Super weird on that. And, yeah, a couple other things, but, you know, what was big was, hey, you know what's cool? When you take the weapons in FF7 R3 and make them really look and behave like kaiju. That's dope. I love it.
Because they are.
They really
that's what they always were.
Yeah. Instead of just giant models that you stab in the toe, you know, it's pretty sick to see them as these like Godzilla fucking threatening things. And then The Witcher 3 just coming out going, it's been long enough. There's a remaster coming, and everything that we've released until now you can grab for free if you own the base game, so that you can catch up and buy our new DLC, Songs of the Past.
So, Witcher 3, the remaster of that is particularly crazy. It's way crazier than I thought it was going to be. So, first of all, secret. Like, I actually kept it under lock and key. Nice. Second of all, this is the second remaster. When they put... The game came out... Witcher 3 came out on the PS4, right?
Okay.
And that gen. And then they put it out on PS5, and on PS5 they did a next-gen version where they remastered and patched a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And this is another remaster, which re-engineers the graphics again, and then they put out this massive, massive list of things that they're going to change, including basic controls, movement, mount movement, combat, animation, like just like full-blown what you would expect a different publisher to charge you $60 for a remaster.
I wonder if it's like the new DLC warranted the revisit to the whole thing, or the revisit warranted the DLC.
This whole thing is Witcher 4 is 2 or more years away, and Witcher 3 came out in 2015. They need to re-engineer the entire Witcher hype cycle from scratch. And
I'm the other thing I said was I'm expecting this will have a direct lead-in to straight into the new to the Baton Pass, right?
Well, there's a clip in that trailer that says there's no ending for a Witcher that isn't a new beginning, and it cuts from Geralt to Ciri taking her sword out.
Okay,
because Ciri is going to be the main character of Witcher 4.
Right.
And it's like, okay, yes, no, there will be a stinger in Songs of the Past that will lead into, what are you gonna do now, Ciri?
And that explains a lot more why this wasn't a Witcher 1 remake being advertised, but
which is also coming, by the way.
I asked about that, and it's that was soft confirmed on their website.
Which means Witcher 2 will exist in the weirdest state as the jankiest one they ever put out, and the only one to not be returned to.
Maybe with time, but not anytime soon, I suppose.
Oh, it'll be a long time. Witcher 2 is so fucking weird. Like, I've said that Witcher 1 is a fucked up game for weirdos. Witcher 2 is a fucking weird game. It is so strange. Nothing about it works like a real video game. And it's the only game I've ever played in my life that has a structure that's a Y. It's the first chapter is a straight line. That's your first chapter. And then when you get to the middle point, it splits into two completely different games for the whole rest of the game.
Okay.
Different quests, enemies, characters, zones, main story.
I remember this. And then you had to consolidate this for the third one to make it make sense.
That game is 140% of itself, which is fucking strange. And there's a reason why nobody else has ever done it, because apparently that was a massive pain in the ass.
Yeah. No, it's like seeing stuff like this always makes me go, is there any feasible way for me to figure this out? And the answer is still a question mark. But maybe one day I'll learn about the adventures of Check's Notes. Geralt?
I saw you saw that thread.
Geralt?
Geralt has one of the most mispronounced names I've ever seen in anything, which is pretty funny because his name comes up an absolutely insane amount of times in his games.
Mm-hmm.
That
person was fucking insane, by the way.
Yeah, of course they were.
That individual was completely batshit nuts and crazy.
Hey, Wooly, why are you subjugating your Caribbean roots in order to to accommodate white America? Why is that?
And so the and also with The Witcher. Another thing that I saw here, and what I would say is the trailer of the show, in my opinion, was that fucking Control Resonant trailer, dude.
Control Resonant is so
fucked so hard. The Prodigy drop. Oh,
you know what that looks like so much? I think I said it last time. That looks so much like Devil May Cry DMC without the baggage of a developer shitting on Devil May Cry. Like if Control Resonance came out and had Dylan be like, Alan Wake, what a pussy! it would approach the same like level of fucking tone. But instead, it's just super cool looking.
So here's the bargaining that I was basically having with my chat when it played, because I'm like, fuck me, I already was interested in this, and that trailer did some wonders. It looks great.
And Remedy makes really good. As somebody who's played nearly every Remedy game, they make really good stuff.
Now here's the thing, because we played a bit of Control 1, played a couple hours of that, right, and that was my experience to it. As much as I know about the good shit you've been talking about with Alan Wake and with Control and the entire Remedy verse and all that, I have to say, as curiosities, that has been there, but I'm actually drawn towards the gameplay I'm seeing of Control Resonant.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's enough that I'm like, I get it. I know Control 1's a great game, and I know that the Alan Wakes are great games, but I actually am willing to go for the gameplay to play the new thing, and I kind of am like, I can learn about the story, else how.
You don't need to do homework. I'm going to tell you right now. I as soon as you brought this up, my brain was locking all the little bits and pieces into place, and I have it for you.
Okay.
For Control Resonant, what you need to know is that Control 1 happened and exists.
Okay. Yeah. Sure,
you need to know that Alan Wake is a person and that he is a writer.
Okay.
That's the gist of it. I could give you like a fucking 90-second breakdown of what you need to know in Control 1. That's it. Alan Wake 2 is the game that kind of demands that you went through the whole catalog.
Right.
Alan Wake 2 is the Metal Gear Solid 4 of Remedy's output, where there is a enormous amount of value to having gone through not just Alan Wake and Control, but also Max Payne 1 and 2.
Because a lot of people bringing or like, Wooly, you should just play Control. It's really good, really, really good game. You'd like it. And I'm like, no. I know. I know.
They're correct.
Yeah. But this looks so much cooler, and I'm magnetically drawn to this.
No,
so
what you'll do, you'll do is you'll play.
I'm drawn to what I want to play. I want to play that
Control Resonant
way more
because it looks super sick. And at the end of Control Resonant, if you have follow-up questions about things that you have burning need to understand, and the answer comes back, well, that was actually from so-and-so, then it would be upon you to decide whether or not you wanted to chase those answers.
If they were all genres, the same genre of game, and it was improving iterations, that'd be one thing. That'd be one thing, but it's not.
But this is a
completely different genre that I fuck with. And I fuck with it way more
This is one of
than
your
every other
genres, the character action baby.
Yes. I care about this genre and this gameplay way more than the gameplay of Control and of Alan Wake. I just do. So that's how you pull me.
Alan Wake, highly unlikely to show up in Control Resonant, so I don't think you have anything to worry about that.
It's the other way around, right? The container or whatever.
No, it's not like Jesse showed up to talk to Alan. It's like they exist in the games exist as two circles, and there is a portion in the Venn diagram that overlap.
Okay,
right? There are people from that you didn't see in Control that know the characters in Control that interact over on the Alan Wake side and vice versa.
Okay, yeah.
It's always one degree of separation.
Yeah, I want to
And the other thing is that both branches say that they are the important branch.
Right, okay.
Which I think is really cool. Like, the Control says that Alan Wake stuff is a footnote, and Alan Wake says no.
The Control stuff
is the footnote.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm showing up for some fucking sick air combos, and if the story happens to be interesting too, then that's cool.
Oh, can I take a 2-minute?
Yeah, that was pretty much all it was for the ONL anyway, so. All right.
Give me 2 seconds.
Here, bit. All right, so the only other stories to hit on were hey, just an FYI, SNK lost 126 million, aka 20 billion yen.
Darn.
So
the fighting game's doing great.
Well, the difference is whether or not you have a budget that's going to tank it and just keep going no matter what out of spite, or whether you're going to, eventually have the 10-year paycheck come due. It certainly feels like City of the World. So they're releasing their new season and stuff. I mean, fucking Rick Stroud, Duck King, all that shit's coming out. But like they can, there's a personal like. They can just sit there and tank it if they want to, and it seems like that's what they're doing. So.
Well, if Daddy lets them,
exactly.
That they're in a very much like Daddy is it okay situation over at SNK nowadays.
Which is why it's crazy to hear about them spinning off into films and into the Versus Harada studio and stuff, because like that's not the news you want to see right before new ventures are being announced. Anyway. And then there's all this GTA 6 shit.
Bro, the long and short of it is Grand Theft Auto, somehow, this dude got a hold of it, and he got a hold of like the whole fucking goddamn thing.
And it makes sense to me that, Cyberleek is the name of the leaker, and the gunnest and ballist game will have the gunnest and ballist hustle ass fucking scam.
Don't buy my crypto!
The biggest hustle scam bro leaker for the biggest like gunball game makes a million% sense, because it's like you want more leaks, pay me, and if you pay me enough, I'll advertise your shit in my next leak. It's fucking nuts, like monetizing the leaks. Holy shit.
So everything about this game...
just scumbag activity on top of scumbag activities, bro.
So, I'm going to say something really brave. I'm going to say something really brave. I don't think this is a good thing, and I feel bad for the people who work on the game over at Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
I do, however, think it's a really fucking funny thing and an incredibly poetic thing for the game that has shown nothing of itself and asking for $100 pre-orders on digital storefronts and is not allowing you to buy the game physically to prevent leaks, to have its shit leak off super fucking hard. I got a TikTok ad telling me to subscribe to Netflix to see the gameplay reveal and went, man, fuck this and fuck them. I'm glad all this shit leaked out. This is crazy outrageous.
The cloud of name only. And remember, you and every human being on Earth needs to buy 3 copies for it to be profitable, lest we forget.
And also, the leak is like super disastrous for Grand Theft Auto because their entire marketing campaign for this game for the longest time has been, oh my god, it's the new Grand Theft Auto. It's the most incredible thing that's ever been. And then we're going to show the gameplay breakdown on Netflix, and it's going to be a massive event. And oh my god. But what's the first footage you see? Driving around a gas station and like hitting a guy with a baseball bat and then like crashing the car and like, oh yeah, right, it's just a Grand Theft Auto game,
right? Okay, like
it's the mystique
funny
has
enough
fucking evaporated
around all this story. I haven't actually watched any of the footage or seen any of the
it looks like a fucking GTA
it just looks
game,
like a GTA game. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, for all the way for all the shit that gets ruined for them for the marketing and or lack of. Take-Two has basically been exploding, beginning with going after Discord to get information on the leaker, seeking data including emails, IP addresses, phone numbers, and linked Xbox
Oh yeah, they
accounts.
went through all of our emails and phone numbers and shit. Also,
then subpoenaing to get the everyone in the Discords, everyone over 100,000 users that were connected in servers that were just like bystanders, all getting their IP, phone numbers, device IDs, etc., all under subpoena, and then subpoenaing Microsoft themselves as well to get all of this shit to find this fucking Cyberleek dude. And it's
guess what? No dice.
No dice. They're putting more work into tracking this dude down than like the government puts into tracking down PDF files, man. Like it's crazy how much fucking work they're doing, dude. And they did not find him yet. And he's in the meantime going, pay me $165,000.
I mean, they don't really have to work all that hard, Bully. They just need to look around the office and start pointing.
Yeah, well, that's implied now, isn't it? But literally, like, pay me $165,000 for a chance to get ad space on my next leak is fucking crazy.
And he's doing it through crypto, which means it's actually difficult for them to, like, because if he was like, send it to my bank account, like, yeah, okay, they'd be able to, you know. It's just the funniest shit ever. This is like legitimately the funniest shit ever.
Scumbag on scumbag activity. Like, it's just.
And you know what, dude?
Everyone in this is a dirtbag.
Do you remember when Modern Warfare 3 leaked out like crazy, like tons and tons of footage? And Activision said, oh, fuck. And they changed their whole marketing campaign, and then they put out a ton of footage and trailers they had ready to go like the following day, right? Because they're like, well, we can't let this dipshit
ruin everything.
Fucking run away with it. And they can't do that because they have an exclusive signed deal for the reveal on Netflix. They can't. So for this like week plus long period, the only place you could go to get Grand Theft Auto stuff is this leaker, and all Rockstar can do is like, don't look at it. Come on, we're trying to catch him.
As you said, it sucks for the game overall, but like,
but they made this bed for themselves.
Like that's it. Enjoy the taste a little bit. Enjoy the pie there. Again, it's fine. The word will get out, And I'm sure that 9 billion humans will buy copies. I'm sure it will ship 10 billion units.
Bro, we're not... It didn't make as much money as we thought because of the leaks. It was because of the leaks.
Well, okay, it turns out...
It's the only reason. It's the only reason.
It turns out a couple babies were born that didn't pre-order a copy. And that's no good, according to our projections. So, and they're digital copies at that, mind you, right? So, anyways, yeah. Let's take some letters. Let's take a letter.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, send
Hey.
it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. An electronic letter, granted.
All right, let's take one quick one over here. Sandy says, "Dear Father and Daddy." Oh shit.
Well, that's up to interpretation.
That is that certainly is, isn't it? Exactly. With the recent Gamescom opening night showcase, it made me think about whether games are becoming too standardized. Most of these games will probably be good, but the general viewer's eyes glaze over with the third-person action game with a parry shown in the last 15 minutes. Seems like most games nowadays follow a standard template, rarely deviate from it. For example, the cozy genre mostly produces Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing clones. Action games or DMC or Souls-likes. Is game design essentially solved, or is the general gamer just more risk-averse? Much love from Sandy.
Parts of it are. Parts of game design are solved. Mm-hmm. There's been like a lot of button things that have been like very clearly standardized because they fit the person's hand very well.
Yeah, I've discussed many a time when like I'm watching a trailer for something and it's just a FMV playing, and then I'm like, wait for the camera to pull back to the isometric view and watch me just glaze over and not give a shit.
But there's more reasons. One, games cost a shit zillion dollars to make, so they're risk averse by default. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, there are enough games coming out today across all platforms that would have been an entire year's worth of output, like on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Like there are like literally 300-400 times as many games coming out.
Again, having a friend that was working on an indie game and just pointing out some things, or like there is an amazing Steam indie game that you would love that comes out every single day that you will never see or play, because that's how
I need to give a big shout out. So I will glaze the Steam platform until my dying day, or rather till its dying day. But the Steam calendar is the best solution to discoverability I have ever seen in my life.
I haven't looked at it.
Have you tried the Steam calendar?
No.
So are you logged in on Steam right now on the computer you're using?
Can I use it on the phone app?
I don't know, actually.
Okay. I can try the website.
But basically, you go to where is it? You go to recommendations on the Steam store.
Okay.
Right? And then there's a tab that says calendar. Explore my calendar of my personal calendar. And it is the next 3 months. It defaults to like 100 games of everything you could possibly be interested in. And the dates that they come out.
By wish list or algorithm?
Algorithm.
By algorithm, okay.
It goes by tags. It goes by recent played. It goes by people also liked this. You know, that kind of thing.
Interesting, okay.
The amount of shit I have seen on this that I've gone, that looks really cool, that I have never heard of, is astonishing.
Okay.
It is crazy.
I'm not logged in, so I'd have to check this out after, but that sounds interesting. Is it just showing you the stuff that would pop up in the store feed on your front page anyway, though?
Kind of, but it will take your wish list into account, right? Here, I'll send you a screenshot.
Okay.
But like, it takes your wish list into account and populates that.
Oh, okay, here we go. I have it on my phone. It is in the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it just shows you, like, you can put it to like 50 or 100 or 250.
Yeah, okay. I'm
and
looking
it will just show you everything you could possibly be interested in that'll be releasing on Steam according to your tags, your wish lists, etc. It is extraordinary for finding new stuff.
Okay. Last 7 days, upcoming. Huh. Yeah. That's a pretty good way to handle the infinite flow of releases, because otherwise you're just like, yeah, there's just no way to keep up. It's just impossible. You're going to get lost in the tide. Pretty cool. I mean, when I took a look at mine, I'm seeing released in the last month, available now, and then last 7 days. For upcoming, it's showing me Blood Dungeon, Amsterdam, Flight Simulator, Tough Love Arena, MGS2, Resonance, Divinium. Okay, some of these are not good fits for me at all.
The more you use Steam, the better it is.
Sure.
So I have like hundreds of games on the wish list and like thousands of games on Steam.
The release, the previous release stuff makes sense. Like I'm seeing Beast of Reincarnation, Big Walk, Tokon, Twisted Tower.
So
Akatori,
yes, here's a really good
Mystria.
example of the use of it. Somebody in chat just went to their thing and wait, Resonance, A Plague Tale is tomorrow?
There you go.
I forgot.
Wild Blue Skies. Oh yeah, Wild Blue Skies. The fucking, you're right. The Star Fox. True. Yeah, that thing. Okay, that's cool. Got to play that demo. Okay, that worked. I was just going to say that when it comes to the everything in the industry being risk averse and kind of copying itself, yeah, perfect example is the thing is that it's been doing that for years, even before it became super expensive and a bad idea to take a huge risk and then watch your game and studio crash and burn forever, which is the state of things now. Even if you're successful, you might still get shut down. But even back 10, 20 years ago, what you were watching is like the big genres all kind of like stabilized, and then what became the breakout hits were things that amalgamated your favorite parts from other genres into a new thing. You know, taking a little bit of, what do you like? You like some crafting, you like some team-based, 5v5 or something. You want point capture, whatever it is you're watching as your StarCraft becomes your hero, or your Warcraft becomes your hero-focused version of the game, becomes your MOBA. Use map settings games become the standardized version to play. Counter-Strike mods end up becoming the main thing. Fucking Fortnite, the side mode becomes the main thing. We start getting battle royale features and everything else. What the standout features just get lifted and amalgamated into other genres, and we're gonna keep doing that for a while. And then something big and impactful will hit, like an Elden Ring or so, and then everyone will gravitate around that, start lifting things from that, and it'll start breaking it out piecemeal and bringing those features into their own genres. But that's what it's been for the last 20 years, I feel. The blending has been happening for a long time, and that seems to be the best way to not just be successful, but be a standout thing that everybody wants to get on board with. I don't know what the through line is to get to games like Marathon and Tarkov, but I have to assume that along the way, Extraction involved DayZ and PUBG and
there's some Arma guts in there.
Yeah, Arma, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, all of these guts start rolling forward to become this current thing that has all the things you liked about these ones rolled into this now.
There was an old quote from a developer that I cannot remember, which was that every video game developer just wants to make Lord of the Rings, and the only ones that don't are the ones that want to make Aliens. And that was from the aughts. Mm-hmm. And now we're at the point where every video game developer doesn't want to translate a movie. They want to make their own favorite video game. It's not from a different medium, film.
Yeah. Expedition 33.
Yeah.
I want to make my own favorite.
People making Expedition 33, they're like, God damn it, we want a new Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. I want to make my own favorite, 100%. Yeah. So that's what it's been for a minute. And It's going to feel this way for a long time. The only difference now is that the stakes are higher than ever, and the ones that do a good job of it are still going to crash and burn.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck!
Good luck, everybody.